Kia ora, nā mai, hara mai, hello and welcome. Sky Broadband Rapid League from the Queen Elizabeth Youth Centre here in Tauranga tonight for our Thursday night hoops, I should say. Whai and the Kahu about to do battle. Hello and welcome. Justin Nelson with you, sitting right alongside me, Casey Frank. And excuse me for getting the days wrong, Casey, but this season, it absolutely flies by, doesn't it?
It doesn't matter if it ends in a Y. It's got a ball bouncing, and we're going to watch another quality game tonight. Kicking off with the Rapid League as we see the Whai trying to defend their home court against the Kahu team that has been playing pretty well in this format of the game.
Yeah, some big news tonight on players coming in as well. More on that soon. Let's have a look at the all-important ladder. And, of course, wins in the Rapid League add 1 point to the ladder. 3 points for a win in Tauihi. The Hoi after their Tauihi win last night, moved to the top of the table. Of course, this evening we are looking at the Kahu and the Whai.
The Kahu and the Whai are coming together. The Kahu, as mentioned, one of the stronger Rapid League teams. They have some of their top talent coming off the bench. The Whai have tested that strategy at times, but for the most part, we're seeing the majority of their young guns out there.
Well, let's have a look at the Kahu starters for this one this evening. The BNZ Northern Kahu, Tauihi, Flavel, Thomas, Tinney and Anderson are the starters. And from what we've seen so far, of course, this team is pushing one of their imports in Amari Thomas into Rapid League as well. Hasn't worked all the time. They still have had some losses, but she is a force to be reckoned with.
She's a powerful post player despite not being the tallest player on the court. Her footwork down low and her ability to get that deep post position and finish to either shoulder has been impressive all season long.
Crystal Ledger-Walker also playing again in Sky Broadband Rapid League tonight. Let's have a look at the Whai. Highland Cooney, Kirasome, Hokianga and West, and some really good young talent here.
Fantastic young talent. Honey Cooney has been on the radar for quite some time. Of course, Palace Hokianga has really come on strong and cemented herself as a future star to watch.
Averaging 10 points a game at Rapid League level is the 15-year-old Palace Hokianga.
And that's on 24.6 points per game for the Whai, so she is responsible for nearly 40% of that offense.
Definitely expect her to be another standout tonight. The TAB head-to-head. Let's look at the current form. There are the stars to keep an eye on. We spoke about both of them, Hokianga and Thomas. And the shooting percentages, this is an interesting one in Rapid League because we're seeing good shooting nights and we're seeing some tough shooting nights.
And the percentages you see up there are the results of some of those tougher ones. But the pace is quickened. You're playing a little bit faster. There's more shots going up and down. You don't have as many coaches getting in the ears of the players to change the style with which you're playing. So it's a little bit more freedom, but all teams would like to see a higher level of efficiency come to fruit.
One game played so far, round 6 in Rapid League. The Hoi last night went down to the Queens by 3 in a tough, gritty battle, 19-22. The coin officials for this one, Melanie O'Connor, Sharon Martin and Michaela Sharp.
Always glad to see the coin officials coming out, ready to see what could be a physical game. The Kahu, in both formats of the game, play a physical style of basketball. A little bit slower than some of the squads out there because of their predilection to score it in the low post and really work those areas. But we'll see if that comes to the forefront here in tonight's tip-off.
Some player news for the Northern Kahu this evening. Penina Davidson is still absent, but a huge in for the GJ Gardner Holmes Tauihi contest coming up a little bit later on this evening. Australian Opal's captain, absolute star of the game, globally recognised 33-year-old Tess Madgen coming in for her first ever game here in New Zealand, and that's exciting.
Well, I'm just glad she's able to play and after getting over the heartbreak of the Matildas last night. So glad to see that she's coming joining the league now. It's going to really lift the play of the Kahu. Her ability as a versatile player is going to be able to fit right into whatever role is required of her. And I, for one, am very excited to see the product that goes out in the court.
Yeah, and as you well know, Casey, Tess and I have worked together back in Australia over the years, and one thing that you will see straight away from her tonight is it's just the professionalism played around the world, played in the WNBA, long-time star in the Australian WNBL, and of course her international experience with the Opals is well known. She will take this Kahu team professionally to a whole new level.
Which is exciting for those Kahu fans, especially since they're doing pretty well already.
They absolutely are. Exciting for the young Kiwi players coming through the system as well. Set for a start here, Amari Thomas in the blue of the Kahu, Amy West in the white of the Whai, and the Whai get first possession.
It'll be interesting to see how they come out. Coming into this game, as I mentioned, 24.6 points per game against the Kahu's 28.
Opening shot of the game is a good one from Honey Cooney, the player you talked about in the pre-game tonight, Casey. First shot of the game is good for 3.
Well, they'll make the second most threes in the Rapid League, and that's exactly how you want to start for a Whai team that likes to get out and push the pace.
And it will be interesting to see the defensive game plan tonight of the Whai. Here's that opening shot for Honey Cooney, because we've seen them in games get up and in and cause a lot of problems, and we've also seen them step back a little bit defensively as well.
Yeah, they've got both predilections at times, but really interesting to see how this Kahu squad goes with Crystal Ledger-Walker sitting on the bench to kick things off. She's been a stalwart, has played a lot of minutes in the Rapid League. I'll be wondering to see how long she stays over there.
Eliana Tauihi put one away from the TAB, this time on the drive on the left, adds a couple herself. We're tied up at 3 apiece. Early stages tonight, Sky Broadband Rapid League.
Nice body control shown on that finish. And getting a unorthodox three-point play in that possession.
Bailey Flavel with the early foul. Here's Eliana Tauihi on the drive.
Really nice finish there around physical defense that pushed her off a line, but still able to find the net.
And we believe Bailey Flavel and Eliana Tauihi have actually already played some basketball today, earlier this morning, up in Auckland in the National D-League competition that's taking place at the moment. So they're well and truly warmed up for the action tonight.
Well, that was a nice save there by Highland, jumping out of bounds, getting her ball to her teammate. Unfortunately, they couldn't force another shot out of it as the pressure comes up by Hokianga. Bailey finds a little bit of freedom afterwards.
Here's Tinney from the corner on the drive. Nice drive as well. Gets it to go. Kahu take the lead.
Tinney attacking the rim. And that's a couple of strong drives by the Kahu, relying on that dribble drive action.
Hokianga to West. West to the corner. Firing away again, in and out. Halfway down for Cooney. Look at that on the putback, Amy West.
Well, Kirsome created that opportunity with the activity, but Amy West was there to finish it with a nice little flip on the reverse layup.
Good young talent out of Palmerston North. Speaking of young talent, Bailey Flavel.
Oh, just put her head down and attacks the rim, able to fight off physical defense to get that finish. It's a lot of drives by the Kahu. Got to close down that defensive penetration.
Here's Kira Some. Did everything right. Couldn't finish the hard work. Flavel comes up with it, and the Kahu move forward quickly. Thomas. Tinney now. Thomas waving her hands in the background as if to say, here I am. Instead, Tauihi with the long shot, but Thomas cleans it up.
Well, asking ye shall receive. Not the way she envisioned it getting delivered, but 2 points nonetheless. Had the mismatch early, no one recognized it.
Highland for 3. The Whai aren't going to go away wondering tonight, taking every opportunity. Mel Bennett watching on.
I would like to see the Whai create a bit of a better opportunity there. Conscienceless from beyond the arc. They don't mind putting it up and getting it up with a lot of value, but they need to create a better shot by penetrating first to bend that defense.
First quarter action tonight. Sky Broadband Rapid League as quick as always. Macadash battling for it. Has she given away a foul? I think she has.
I love the effort of Asia Anderson there. Gets a hand to it, fighting after the ball. The only Kahu who really had a chance at it, and because of that effort, second chance opportunity for the Kahu as Crystal Ledger-Walker checks into the ball game for Asia Anderson after that offensive rebound.
Our teammate, of course, on Sal's Hoop Heads every week, Crystal Ledger-Walker, well and truly making us look a heck of a lot better on that show as Thomas off the glass adds another 2.
Just like Amari Thomas is making her teammates look better off the offensive glass, pushing herself up, down low, and tough to remove. 4 points on those and a deflection there.
Falls to Cooney though. Her second triple of this opening quarter tonight.
Quick release and confidence in it. You gotta find her outside. 11 to the Kahu to 8 to the 5. The score's a little off.
Yeah, we'll get that scoreboard ticker sorted out for you shortly. Late in this first period, of course. Sky Broadband Rapid League, it's new, it's innovative, and it's 4x4 minute quarters, and invariably, as per the name, it's played with a little bit of speed. 11-8. Kahu out by 3. Here's Cooney. Kirisome now on the drive. Somehow got a shot up, and it'll end up in the hands of the Kahu.
The pirouette goes unrewarded. Quick spin there created by Kirisome, but unable to find the rim. But what a steal.
Yeah, gets it back. Great work. There's this pressure up the floor being applied by the Whai, and they're rewarded.
Well, really attacking the younger Bailey Flavel there. When there's blood in the water, those sharks are going to pounce.
Here's Ledger Walker. What a game she had in Tauihi last week on the buzzer. That will count at quarter time. Amari Thomas with a big, big blow as time expires in this first quarter. Well set up by Ledger Walker, and look at that, what a way to finish. Kahu lead by 4 after the opening 4 minutes.
All about patience on that play there. Crystal Ledger Walker not worried about the shot clock going down, attacks the rim, draws defenders, and Amari Thomas just always cool under pressure. 3 shots in that quarter, 3 makes, 7 points for her to kick things off. And if you're kicking things off, why not kick it off with a $25 large pepperoni pizza?
You can pass me this anytime you want, Casey. The Sal's Super Special this week, available till next Wednesday. You know what to do by now. There's the online code, there's the QR code, and it's a large pepperoni for $25.
Just so you know, Justin, if there's a pizza in my vicinity, I am passing nothing.
I know.
I am not passing up the opportunity to finish that bad boy.
You and I have had a number of adventures to Sal's stores up and down the country over the years, and you tell no lies, Casey Frank. You have rarely given me anything.
Quick look at the stats. Honey Cooney leading the way for the Whai with 6 points, 7 points for Amari Thomas. Rebounds relatively even, 5 for the Kahu, 4 for the Whai. The shooting percentages, though, the Kahu shooting 66% from the field, 5 for 6 from inside the arc. And it's that 2 for 5 from deep for the Whai that's been able to keep them within touch distance.
All of the stats, of course, proudly brought to you by the official stats partner of the Sky Broadband Rapid League, the TAB. Second quarter underway. Here's Ledger Walker. 13 assists against the Queens last week in the GJ Gardner Homes. Tauihi, a little bit of a push there. We'll see Tinny head to the TAB.
And a lot of penetration for the Kahu here in the first half. And these are straight line drives. The Fire in decent defensive position, but need to be a bit more physical with that initial deterrence. Force these Kahu penetrators to get a bit more of a banana cut towards the rim. These straight lines are resulting in points far too often.
Keely Tinny completing the job at the TAB, pushes that lead out to 6. Second quarter underway. Here's young Palace Hokianga out of Hawke's Bay Basketball Association. Chance from the wing for Kirisome. Daish reaching in, commits the foul. One thing we've come used to seeing with this Kahu Rapid League team is Crystal Ledger Walker and Amari Thomas playing in this game and also big minutes in the Tauihi game. In fact, both of them are averaging about 52 minutes a night.
And that's a doubleheader this weekend for these two. So that's 104 minutes apiece most likely, which is that's a good stint. That's 3 full games.
Here is Thomas. Can she add another 3 on this occasion? Well, one of the question marks raised by coaches coming into this season was the workload of players if they are doubling up, but clearly that's not an issue for the Kahu, with Ledger Walker and Thomas doing the business in both games. Here's Chandler on the turnaround. Thomas with the rebound. Off she goes. Tinney hands it off. Here's Bailey Flavel deep two. Good looking shot. Not too far away.
Good look coming off. A lot of space, but Karisome pushing it in response. Can the Whai get something at the rim?
Karisome pulls up. That one back of the iron. Cleaned up by Ledger Walker. Quarterback pass up the court. Delightful start finishing it off. Amari Thomas.
Amari Thomas putting together herself a ball game once again. Great efficiency being shown. She is now 4 for 5 from the field for 9 points.
Of course, no team timeouts in the Rapid League. Foul there.
And finally something to the rim for the Whai. They need to continue with those attacks. They can't settle for those jump shots. The Kahu are forcing them into the mid-range or those contested threes. That's their game plan. That's what they want the Whai to have to do in this one. Be more determined with the drive. Get this Kahu squad into a little bit of foul trouble if you can.
Speaking of timeouts, teams do have access to one Sky City player timeout in each half, as we see in Tauihi games and we saw throughout the season in the Sal's NBL. And we should mention tonight, Casey, it's a bit of a reunion for the New Zealand under-16 team because you've got the two co-captains playing against each other in Bailey Flavel and Palace Hokianga. And of course, Mel Bennett was coaching that team with some recent success.
That helps to explain where she's finding all this young talent, has her eye on it. Always good to come up against the teammates and play against each other. See who doesn't walk away with the upper hand and the bragging rights.
West into the corner, Chandler. Karisome inside, tries to turn back, sends it back towards Chandler for three. Great setup, great finish by.
And that's when they're getting their success from the three-point line, when they're getting some kind of penetration, either with the dribble or with the pass, drawing defenders in, then kicking it out. That wide open look drains it. And despite the Kahu playing pretty well, the Whai with that three-point prowess right in this.
Plenty of applause from the crowd as well. Karisome gets the steal and draws the foul.
And nearly forced the turnover on the far end of the court with that pressure. We saw her with a great steal earlier in this ball game as well, and we can see she is locked in defensively. Is going to get a bit of a blow to recover from all that effort she's putting on that end of the court.
Crowd in early tonight, Thursday night hoops, Rapid League and Tauihi action, round 6. And it is one thing we have seen instantly with Rapid League, and that is crowds coming in nice and early to enjoy the extra basketball. Kahu up by 4. Ledger Walker somehow found the gap into the hands of Tinney, and another 2 off the glass.
Ledger Walker just strong with the basketball. It got deflected a little bit there, but she was able to hold on to it. And that court vision always on. Finds her teammate.
Hokianga, a little bit too deep, battle on the boards. Ledger Walker comes up with it, just fending off a desperate Honey Cooney.
Good strong play there by Crystal Ledger Walker. Got fouled a couple of times, but didn't complain, didn't try to exaggerate the contact, kept going, and eventually that whistle came her way.
More basketball coming up over the next few days. Queens and Tawakai do battle tomorrow night under pressure. Look at this. The youngsters from the Whai strip it. They bring it back. Can they get the job done here and close this gap? Excellent work defensively late in this second quarter. Cooney looking for Highland. Chipping in. Asia Anderson again. Pressure from Hokianga, this time fouling.
Well, on that last possession, the Whai spacing just got a little discombobulated, and that took away some of those driving lanes, allowed the Whai to play more aggressively in the passing lanes, and that enabled Asia Anderson to get in that, get the steal, and give the Kahu possession for possibly the last shot of the quarter.
Don't forget, Sky City player timeouts available for both teams. Ledger Walker on the drive, couldn't get it to go. Amari Thomas, too big, too strong.
Got to call the timeout now. Nobody's recognized it, so they're going to have to get a quick shot up.
And we've seen that a few times this season. The younger players still learning their way through on how to use the Sky City player timeout. Chance goes begging there, does not go begging for Thomas though, as she adds another 2, and the Kahu lead by 8 at the half. TAB stats, Casey Frank, talk us through them.
Well, that's Amari Thomas's half there. She was putting in a shift, 5 for 7 from the field, 11 points, half of the 22 for the Kahu coming through her hands. For the Whai leading scorer, still Honey Cooney with 6 points, a couple of triples. And it's been all about that 3-point shot for the Whai. That's what's keeping them in the ball game. They're 3 for 8 from deep, compared to the Kahu just 1 for 5. But inside the arc, that's where the Kahu are doing their damage. 8 for 11 from the field. Fantastic 72% shooting from there. 10 rebounds to 7 advantage to the Kahu. 3 assists and 2 assists for the Kahu, and then the Whai. And not too many turnovers at this point. Just 2 for the Kahu and 3 for the Whai.
Coaches only get 2 minutes to have a chat to their teams at the half, and of course all of these teams are battling right now for their spot at the GJ Gardner Homes Tauihi Final 4 in Porirua, September 9 and 10. Tickets are on sale now and being snapped up quickly, which is great to see. QR code there on screen will take you straight through, so you can book your tickets and come along and enjoy the best of the best. And boy, has it gone up a level in season number 2.
Your guess is as good as mine, Justin, as to which 4 teams are going to end up there in the Final 4. There is not a lot separating. And even those teams at the top of the table, with the way Rapid League can impact the standings and 3 rounds left, including this one, every team has a bit of work cut out for them to ensure that they've got that postseason appearance.
Well, we mentioned the Queens and the Pauakai playing tomorrow night. The Queens winning Rapid League last night, but going down to the Hoi Hor for the 3rd time this season in Tauihi. Quite remarkable. What a run the Southerners have had against the reigning champs. And the Pauakai do have a busy few days to close out round 6. They're also in action on Sunday, taking on the Kahu.
Double-double. Both teams coming in with a doubleheader. Let's see who's more fatigued.
Oh, Macadash did well then on the skip to drag it in, just couldn't get the shot away.
Nice hands, nice extension. Unfortunate, couldn't get the roll.
Here's Ledger Walker teaming up again with Thomas, opens it up for her. She gets on the drive against Daesh, hands it back out. Ledger Walker for 3, nails that.
Crystal Ledger Walker struggled a little bit to start the season from deep. Wasn't shooting at the percentage you would expect her to find, but the eye is starting to lock in, and the 2-woman game between Thomas and Ledger Walker, creating space for one or the other.
Hokianga tries to return serve. Daesh with the foul under the basket, grappling with Amari Thomas. Ledger Walker in GJ Gardner Homes Tauihi from beyond the arc, going at 24%. However, to your point, Casey, it feels like in the last couple of weeks, that percentage is rising.
Well, it has. It's risen considerably. She was sub 20 for a few weeks there, and at the start of things, just hadn't quite gotten her eye in, trying to feel things out. But that shot is always deadly, even when the percentages may not be what they're supposed to be.
Kahu settling, leading by 11 now, and looking likely to get the early point tonight. Tauihi action still to come, and there's some big stars set to take the court. Tuaiti firing away from deep, comes up short, and Kirisome quickly back the other way for the Whai. Here she goes on the drive, under pressure, does well, finds a gap, sends it through to Cooney, in the corner for another triple.
Honey Cooney finding the space from deep once again. 3 made shots, all triples, but Asia Anderson too far out, seagulling away to 2 points there.
Seen that a couple of times tonight, haven't we, by the Kahu. Margin at 10. Hokianga selling a little bit of candy.
Palace Hokianga hasn't been able to get her feet wet just yet, as another triple goes up for the Kahu.
Off the hand of Keely Tinney. And the Whai just trying to up the speed of the game at the moment. Can they close this gap? Cooney shut down quickly. She's had her eye in so far tonight. Sends it out to Kirisome for 3. Off hands, falls down. Highland inside. Little jumper there. Kurasome just couldn't get it to drop.
A lot of opportunities, but not going their way with a 10-point deficit and limited minutes remaining. They're going to have to find a way to shut down this break of the Kahu and find a higher level of efficiency inside that three-point arc.
Here's Palace Hokianga. Just
Oh, that's lovely.
couldn't work out whether to go right or left. In the end, she saw the opportunity on the left and a nice little spin by the 15-year-old.
Well, just read and react. She stopped one way, goes the other. And that's her game. Very natural feel every time she plays with.
Youngest player in the competition this season, Palace Hokianga. Makadesh maybe looking for a call there.
Nice strong finish by Tinney. After she put Daesh on the keister.
Closing minute of this third quarter. Always quick stuff in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. Flies by. Cooney deep. Kurasome had it, lost it. Kahu come up with it, and a big foul from Makadesh.
Unsportsmanlike is the call there. Let's take a look at it. That was the call by the official. They might discuss it, but let's see.
I think there's too much discussion there as Sharon Martin, coin official who called it, just walks off.
She had those fouls. She was using them up. She was definitely using them up in her time out there. Everybody's got to get out for the Kahu as it was, there it is. It's unsportsmanlike foul, so 2 free throws and possession to the Kahu.
I'd need to have a deep dive, Casey, into the TAB stats, but I can't help but feel over the opening 5 rounds of the season, for minutes played, Makadesh probably racks up the most fouls.
That would be, I would probably say, an accurate guesstimation.
Here's that replay, and there's the contact coming in from the side.
It looks like a play to the ball for me. Pretty quick with the unsportsmanlike there for something that didn't seem all that untoward.
It was a hard play for the ball.
Nothing, you're allowed to play hard. It's basketball. This ain't tiddlywinks.
I could have written that answer down. There's Bailey Flavel, great drive.
Look out for all these players to foul softly from now on. Oh, let me foul a little softer. Gotta use it up. If I'm gonna get the whistle, I'm gonna get my whistle's worth.
I love the fact that I can just handball you the easiest pass and you take it every single time. Speaking of passing, the Kahu looking good as they come up the court again, leading by 13. 4 seconds to play. Got to get this up. Flavel on the drive. Good to go.
Well, they have been excellent finishing quarters, haven't they, tonight? Aggressive on the rim. Excellent awareness of time and space. The space they have to get the play off and the time left on that shot clock. Look at Bailey Flavel here by multiple defenders. Nice finish there, going to her left, kissing it off the glass to give the Kahu what at this point looks like an insurmountable 15-point lead coming into the fourth quarter.
Well, you know who we'll be watching on this evening on Sky Sport will be Father Judd Flavel. He'll be pretty happy with what he's seen from young Bailey so far this evening.
Hasn't he gotten enough basketball yet this year? Coaching multiple teams? No, but I'm sure he's watching Bailey and like all fathers and mothers who are basketball players, finding a way to, hey, you could do it a little bit better, but you have to listen to me. Just do it, just tweak it this bit. No, but nice drive there by Bailey Flavel. It got to be a great feeling to watch the kids grow up and then start playing at a higher and higher level, realize those dreams that you once upon a time chased. And taking a look at the stats really quickly before we head into the fourth quarter. Leading scorers in the ball game: Honey Cooney 9, Amari Thomas 9 for her as well. Keely Tinney has snuck up there in the third quarter. 8 points for her, 6 by Bailey Flavel in support. Still great shooting inside the arc for the Kahu. 80% on 12 for 15 from the field. Just 2 for 8 from deep. 4 for 12 from deep for the 5, but it's been a tough 3 for 11 inside the arc that's enabled the Kahu to get this big lead.
Leading the rebounds as well, 15 to 11. All of the stats, of course, with thanks to the TAB. Here's Flavel. Can she add another 2? Good hand in there by Hokianga. The 2 co-captains of the New Zealand under-16 team matching up on each other at the moment.
And I feel like they've had a few of these previously, and we'll probably get a few more over the years.
Ball in. Thomas with way too much space leaves the shot short.
Let's see if the Phi try and quicken the pace here just a bit, get shots up in those first 5 or 6 seconds of the shot clock to try and stretch this game out a little. It creates some more extra possession for them to come back. Oh,
Cooney on
pass.
the drive. Yeah, I think she took one too many steps. Knew it straight away. Pass was good, but it did come with an extra step.
Yeah, a little late on the cut for Honey Cooney. She was stuck, didn't have a lot of options there. She picked up her dribble and leads to the travel.
Oh, a little bit of a give and go there, and a basket. Eliana Tauihi had the pass in from the sideline and was smart enough to get it back quickly and run the length of the floor.
And a little contact as Amy West finishes underneath. Nice pass delivered there as well by Maya Chandler.
Margin at 15. Last quarter action. Sky Broadband Rapid League tonight. Don't blink. That's how fast this new competition goes. Travel back the other way on Tauihi. Still got the GJ Gardner Holmes Tauihi clash to come tonight, and some massive stars to hit the court. Michaela Cowling, of course, for the Whai. What a season she's had so far.
Oh, she's gone from strength to strength these last few weeks, really highlighting her versatile offensive game, inside, outside. She can take mismatches down low or out on the perimeter. Whichever way you want it, she's going to give it to you.
Who gets the job on her tonight?
Well, we'll see. That's a great question. There's some great defenders out there. I don't know if Crystal Ledger-Walker has the size for it. I wouldn't mind seeing what Tess Madgen could do in there, but there's some pretty good wings as well in Terrell Reed.
Here's the Kahu. Anderson bustling her way to the basket. Got the shot up. Not in time, though. Whistles have gone. Whai will get possession.
Shot clock stays. Well, let's see, is it? Slowly walking the other direction. Well, foul called on the shot, actually. So just before that shot clock went, Asia Anderson feels the contact and a chance to stretch this lead out with 2:17 to go.
First one from the TAB is good.
Offensive display has been put on by the Kahu here in the Rapid League game. Be interesting to see if that momentum carries over to the Tauihi.
Well, they scored 36 last week in the Rapid League against the Queens, but gave up 42. 78 points scored in that game was quite remarkable. Some late opportunities here for the Whai. Daish underneath.
Daish with the finish there to try and claw it back towards respectability, but with 2 minutes left to go, the Kahu can effectively be extremely patient. Almost just dribble this one out.
Tauihi. Now there's a foul off the ball here. I think that'll be against Honey Cooney.
Yeah, I think just grabbing on Tauihi as she was trying to get inside the lane there.
My best count at the moment, I reckon there's about 4 or 5 players under the age of 18 on the floor at the moment. Some really exciting talent for the future, and probably none better than Bailey Flavel.
Oh, Bailey Flavel does look like a player. You'd be hard-pressed to pick what the best prospect is out of that crew, though. There is talent all over the place. Love the size Bailey Flavel plays with. Her ability to put the ball on the floor in either direction with either hand, and finishing ability as well, as we take a look at McKenna Dale and Michaela Cowling riding a bike staying warm, watching the Rapid League action themselves.
You can see Tess Madgen, the Australian, down the end of the Kahu bench in the background there, standing up, preparing and getting ready to play her first game in New Zealand tonight. Fantastic to have the Australian captain here playing in Tauihi. Margin at 15, a win for the Kahu coming up, and an extra point on the Tauihi ladder. Deep to Asia Anderson. Daish with the rebound, and the Whai bring it up the floor. Ooh.
Oh my, that is problematic. That could be an ejection. Is that a foul on Tinny? Daish just gave her the two-handed shove. What is going on?
Well, it all happened in the background, didn't it? After that pass forward, well picked up by the official, but
well, Daish got away with one, no doubt about it.
And now the Kahu come forward with just over a minute to play. Flavel had it, lost it. Whai come up with it. Hokianga looks at her options, sends it out to Cooney for three, and I reckon that's against Thomas under the basket. A push into the back of Makadesh.
Thomas and Daesh, they've been exchanging some not so pleasantries in the physical basketball game down underneath there. Makadesh, she has no qualms about tussling with anybody. See if it carries over into the Tauihi game later tonight.
Hokianga now sends it out to Highland for three. Thomas and Daesh battle again off the boards. Kahu come up with it through Tinny. Here's Flavel now. Just reaching in, Honey Cooney with the foul. 41 seconds to play. GJ Gardner-Holmes, Tauihi clash coming up after this. There is Tess Madgen, the 33-year-old Australian. And a real sporting family as well. Plenty of basketball and plenty of Aussie rules in the Madgen family. And of course, Tess is a star in her own right. Foul there, committed.
Stop trying to talk about Aussie rules over here, Justin. Stop it.
Why does it feel like every time I bring up Aussie rules, you're in the commentary box with me?
Well, I've got a feeling that's because you bring it every time I'm in the commentary box with you.
Well, her brother Jack, of course, played for the Collingwood Magpies in the AFL.
Oh, of course. How could you forget Jack?
You knew that.
I'm more familiar
with Ben,
with her brother Ben Madgen. Played against her once or twice over the years when he was at the Kings.
Yeah, plenty of basketball for Ben as well. Another foul here late in the game. Kahu out by 15 and to get the win. What have you made of the game tonight in the Sky Broadband Rapidly, Casey Frank?
Well, the Kahu just came out and were aggressive to the rim, and I think that concentration on finishing those high efficiency shots gave them the edge over the Whai, who were just unable to really penetrate the size and physicality of this Kahu defense. A young squad for the most part out there for the Whai. And I think the physicality for a more mature Kahu squad ended up giving them the advantage.
This will be the fourth Rapid League win of the season for the Kahu. Will push them up to 16 points on the Tauihi ladder. Sitting in third, the Queens in second on 18. The Hoi Hoi on top of the table at the moment with 19 points. Dying stages here, no late shot taken. The Kahu get the win. Comprehensive it was as well. They get home 42-25 with thanks to TAB. Let's have a quick look at the stats.
A solid game from Amari Thomas. Finishes with 9 points, 9 rebounds, just short of the double-double. Backed up nicely by Bailey Flavel with 8. And Asia Anderson with 6. Keely Tinney with 8 as well. Honey Cooney leading the way for the Whai, 9 points. But when you look at the shooting percentages, 55% to the Kahu, 30 for the Whai, 75% from inside the arc for the Kahu, 33 from inside the arc for the Whai. And eventually, neither team really shot great from three, 26% for the Whai, 22 for the Kahu. But those rebounding numbers for the Kahu, what got it in? 21-14, the advantage to the Kahu, and that's how they got that 17-point victory.
So the opening game tonight, done and dusted. Thursday night hoops. The Wahine putting on a fantastic show. Sky Broadband Rapid League, the Kahu take the win by 17. And in about 20 minutes' time, we're right back here in Tauranga tonight for the GJ Gardner-Holmes Tauihi battle between the Whai and the Kahu. We'll see you soon.
Who's good at shooting a half-court shot? Half-court shot. Is anyone good at shooting a half-court shot? Half-court shot. Are you good at shooting a half-court shot, my friend? What's your name? Ortiz. It is a very good shooting a half-court shot, okay? Shake your hands. Shake your hands. The hardest. And after shaking, there must be some people that are like shaking their hands the hardest. Okay, I can see some people that are shaking their hands the hardest. Okay. For some reason, this young person over here is shaking their hands the hardest. I hear hands. Here you go. I saw you right there, Mama. You were shaking your hands the hardest. Awesome, awesome. Fans, get yourselves ready. This is going to be an incredible game between the Kahu and the Whai. It's time to get a break from him. If you came to support women's basketball, everybody say ho! Say ho! And introducing the BBNZ Northern Kahu team. Please put your hands together for number 1, Aotearoa. Number 17, Ashley Udaseki. Number 11, Jason Timmy. Number 24, Tauihi Reed. And rounding off the starters is number 9, Tess Maslin. Number 6, Crystal Itaboka. Number 27, Azura Anderson. Number 3, Bailey Flavel. Number 30, Eliana Tauihi. Number 13, Kenny Tinney. And rounding off the team for the BBNZ Northern Kahu is number 23, Amari Thomas. The head coach for tonight is the incredible Jody Cameron. Assistant coach is Leanne Walker. And Halsey Wall. Finally, that is the BBNZ Northern Kahu team. Fans, if you can, please turn on your telephone lights, turn on your mobile telephone lights, turn on your mobile telephone lights on them, and hold them up in the air and start waving them around like you just don't care. It's nice to see all the lights out here. Yes, Whai. Sing up. Yeah, lot of people, come on, say 5, 5, say 5, 5, say fire it up, say fire it up, yeah, and introducing the Whai team, starting with number 2, Aaliyah Wilson, number 1, Sarah Samuel, number 3, Michaela Conley. Number 44, Michaela Dale. Number 10, Alyssa Hirani. Number 30, Amy West. Number 27, Anika Harley. Number 11, Jade Kenisome. Number 6, Maya Chandler. Number 9, Honey Puri. Number 12, Palace Hokiama. And rounding off the Whai team is number 14, Becca Deutsch. And the head coach, the incomparable Mal Bennett. And the assistant coaches for tonight is Teddy Bennett and Alex Stokovich. Father, please put your hands together and make some noise for your Whai team. And the rest of tonight is Melanie O'Connor, Shahan Martin, and McKay. shot. Competition on tonight, Kahu. And we will be giving away this New Balance pair of shoes and these New Balance pair of shoes. So, get yourselves lit up, get yourselves ready. And we'll be giving these away soon. So, New Balance, you have to do a dance, Kahu. Not right now, not right now. Very, very soon. Two keys now. Hey. So, we'll be giving away this pair of shoes, Whai. Come on. When we do our dance competition, these will come in any size. They'll come in any size. So we're giving away these in any size. And no problem. We're just going to be able to show you guys what we're giving away today. Yeah? Stop here. Whatever size that you have. Shout out to Foot Mechanics also. These are what we're giving away. Other shoes as well. Nice to see you. Hold up. Nice to see you. That's all right. That's it. Please, we'll give these away. You have to dance when we ask you to dance. Yeah? Okay, hold down. Very soon. So these New Balance shoes from FIBA Mechanics, we will be giving away.
Kia ora, nā mai, hara mai, hello and welcome. Tauranga on a Thursday night, round 6, GJ Gardner Homes, Tauihi. It's the Whai and the Kahu. Looking forward to this one. I hope you're well, wherever you may be watching throughout Aotearoa and of course right around the world. Justin Nelson with you, Casey Frank with me, and I'm looking forward to this contest. Some stars about to hit the floor.
There certainly are. Not full strength yet are the Kahu. We're hoping to be as close to it as they could have been this year. Still a couple of outs for them, but the inclusion of one of the more accoladed players that we've had in the competition yet this year, and we've had some accolades delivered.
Absolutely. Tess Madgen about to play her first game here in New Zealand tonight. The Australian Opals captain, the 33-year-old who has achieved so much. We get to see her on the floor for the Kahu this evening. Let's have a look at the ladder in Tauihi as it stands, and it has moved after this evening's earlier Sky Broadband Rapid League game. The Kahu getting that win by 17 points. They move up to 16 on the table.
It's a big victory for the Kahu in the Rapid League, who had some uneven form in that version of the game as of late, but they'll be looking to build on it this evening despite not having a couple of their big guns.
Let's have a look at the games coming up tomorrow night, the Queens and the Pauakai. It is a big round for the mainland Pauakai. They head home on Sunday to take on the Kahu, and then round 7 tips off next Thursday night, right back here in Tauranga with the Whai taking on the Queens.
The schedule goes from strength to strength. Only 3 rounds left before we get to the finals. As we take a look at the starters for the BNZ Northern Kahu, Aotearoa. There she is, Tess Madgen, Australian Opals captain, Tara Reid, Jason Tinney, and Ash Udaseki rounded out. And a few moments ago, Jody Cameron shared her thoughts on how tonight's game might go.
Coach, a big in tonight with Australian Tess Madgen joining the team. How has she settled in, and what role will she play tonight?
Tess is a real professional, so it's just been an easy settle in for her. She's already added some impact to our team and training. She's just class act.
Awesome. And Michaela Cowling has been a force for the Whai. Who gets the job on her tonight, and how do you plan to shut her down?
We've got Tara Reid marking her tonight, and that she has been playing really well, and just see how we go. Just limit her. You can't stop great players unless you dedicate a whole range of tactics around her, and she's a class act too. So Tara's got it in her head. She wants to limit her numbers, and we'll start from there.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Coach.
Great, thank you.
It's going to be a big matchup, isn't it? Tara Reid getting the job on Michaela Cowling by the sound of it. Let's have a look at the home team tonight. The Whai, Wilson, Hirawani, Dale, Cowling, and Zagera. And it is a very, very good-looking starting unit for the Whai.
They've been playing well as late. Play with a lot of pace. This team gets up over 72 field goal attempts per game. First in the league, and that pace is going to be key against a Kahu team that likes to grind it out in the half court.
Coach, of course, is Mel Bennett. Let's hear her thoughts ahead of tonight's big clash.
Okay, Coach, up against a strong Kahu team tonight, what do you need to get and do well to get the win?
Offensively, we need to control the tempo of the game, so our aim is to push the pace. We know Kahu like to kind of control that tempo. They did last time. We need to make our perimeter shots as well and share the ball and play selfless basketball.
Awesome. Who gets the important matchup inside on Amari Thomas tonight, and how do you limit her impact?
Oh, she's super strong. She killed us last time, actually, so we've got multiple coverages on her. If we have to, we're going to double team as well inside the post.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.
It is a big job slowing down Amari Thomas. What a season she is having for the Kahu. Nearly 25 points and 9 rebounds a game. Speaking of stats, the TAB head-to-head for this one. Talk us through it, Case.
Well, you see the leading scorers for both teams over there, over 22 points per game. Of course, on that left side for the Whai, you might notice some repetition there. Michaela Cowling is fantastic this season. Leading scorer, rebounder, and assist getter. Amari Thomas leading the way in scoring and rebounding tonight's game. That's because Panina Davidson not available. She is the leading rebounder on the Kahu, not here tonight. And Crystal Ledger-Walker, 7.3 a game, but that's been on the up and up. Back-to-back games and double-digit assists coming off a huge one last weekend.
Absolutely, 23 assists in total for Crystal Ledger-Walker in her last 2 games. Good crowd in attendance tonight, Thursday night hoops. Coin officials for this one, Melanie O'Connor, Sharon Martin and Michaela Sharp. Not too far away from a start. Games so far in round 6. One played, the Hoi Hall last night, taking down the Queens 82-71. Third time in a row this season that the Southerners have taken down the reigning champs.
And they've had some big runs against that squad. A 27-point run a couple of games ago, a huge run in that second quarter last night. to take control of the ball game. You know, sometimes teams just have your number, and up to this point in the season, looks like the Hoiho have cracked the code to the safe that is the Tokomanawa Queens.
And we have seen that on a couple of different matchups, haven't we? Of course, the Queens have defeated the Kahu, the last 5 times they've played them.
And Crystal Ledger-Walker, when she comes on hoop heads, doesn't like hearing about that one. Well, we continue to slightly mention it, but it is true. They've got a style of play that's been successful against them. The Kahu's certainly trying to crack that code up in the talent level, bringing Tess Madgen over. But for the Kahu in tonight's game, really interested to see if Amari Thomas has that same level of effectiveness without partnering with Panina Davidson. I think when you lose the duo, it becomes much easier to focus on one of those players in the low post. When they work together in that high-low action with the lobs, taking advantage of whoever has the more beneficial matchup, that's when they've been at their best. It's going to be tough for Amari Thomas on her own, especially coming in off the bench, since she did start in that rapid league game.
Kahu coming in off a loss, of course, going down to the Queens last week by 4 in a high-level game. That was really one of the best we've seen so far this season. There's been a lot of good games this season for the Whai. Interestingly here on their home deck, last 2 times out, they've gone down by 2 and by 1.
Tough losses, and that 1-point loss could have been a tie game if Michaela Callan could have only gotten her foot just a little bit further behind the arc. Did not, and ends up with the loss. But this is a versatile scoring team. You know, you look at them, not a lot of size, not a lot of height, not a lot of bulk. And then with this Kahu starting lineup coming out, they're almost mirror images of each other. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Kahu play a little bit faster than we've seen them play this year. You know, big stat for me in this game is the 3-point shots made. The Whai make 11 3-pointers per game. The Kahu 5.1. Without Panina Davidson taking advantage on the interior, they're going to have to up those 3-point makes to keep pace with this Whai squad. Set
for a start tonight. GJ Gardner-Holmes, Tauihi, the Whai and the Kahu, and Cowling straight away down to the European star, Sarah Zagera. We are underway as Cowling starts to set things up for this Whai team. Wilson now on the drive straight away, pulls it up off the block. It's a ripper. What a start for the home team.
Showed great balance by getting down to that. Look, she was going to go up with a leaner early, but held her position and went with the kiss off the glass while avoiding the defensive activity from Jason Tinney.
Speaking of which, here is Tinney under some pressure from Dale. Tess Madgen, her first touch of the Molten here in Aotearoa. The Aussie skipper goes out to the corner. That shot went up late for mine. Maybe right on the buzzer from Tinney, and the Kahu do get it back.
Very, very close to still being in the hand as that one got off. Nice patience shown towards the end of the shot clock as we take another look at the Wilson move. Expected Tinney to challenge, she didn't, so that's when she went straight up with it.
Tinney to bring it in. Madgen here. Cowling's got the job there. Sends it out on the drive. Reed made it look awkward. Came up short. And here come the Whai through Cowling. Delightful pass to Dale.
Michaela Cowling's just a heaper. Beautiful pass delivered. The pass wasn't exactly where she needed it, but on the catch, head on a swivel. Nice run by Dale to get that finish.
And it won't surprise you, more than one WNBL team in Australia making contact to find out what Michaela Cowling is up to next. There's a foul reaching in against Aaliyah Wilson.
I'd be pretty surprised if Michaela Cowling's dance card isn't already filled up for the next 12 months.
Oh, it's stamped. Don't worry about that.
I do not think she's got any, no questions about where she's spending her time. I think those contracts for her are already well settled. I'm not quite aware of them, but my expectation is high-level Europe.
Yeah, she's headed to Europe. You are absolutely spot on. WNBA drafted player Michaela Cowling by the Connecticut Sun. Putting some pressure on Tess Madgen there. Now Reed on the turnaround. Cowling with her opening rebound of the game. Quickly up to Zagera.
Look at the pace with which the Whai are playing. Really testing the Kahu's transition defense abilities.
Such a big game for the Whai tonight. Wilson starting to find some touch in the last couple of weeks. First round WNBA draft pick, nowhere to go. Hands it off, McKenna Dale runs into a wall. Aotea Leach with the block.
Ended up getting a little static after the initial push. Good job by the Kahu settling the defense.
Some reaching in there. Hirawani with the foul.
Look at Taura's physical defense there, and then the block. Aotearoa has become such a important piece with her versatility for this Kahu squad.
Averaging just over 8 points a game, Aotearoa. Magin brings it in. Here's Reed. He's looking back for Tess Magin, goes it alone. I think that's come off the hand. I thought it came off the hand of Zagera. Called the other way though.
Well, that was Terrell Reed's opinion as well. As we see McKenna-Dale chase down the wayward pass. Reset.
Is that a turnover to the coin official?
Never turnovers for the officials. They never get a TO.
Here's Wilson. 13 points a game. Cowling. Zagera pulls it up for three. Chases it down. She knew it was going to miss. Tried to claw it back. Reed now quickly up to Leach, keeping it in. Momentarily though, picked up by Dale. On the move, can she score early? Sends it back to Zagera for three.
Zagera such a quick release from deep, and this Whai team, they get up a lot of threes, more threes by volume. The majority of the league on average.
Nearly 3 minutes gone, Kahu yet to score. Great start tonight by the Whai. Here's Magin, met by Zagera and Cowling. Frees up, Tara Reed, opening points for the visitors.
Well, the double up high enabled Tara Reed to get a space there as the back line of defense couldn't commit to that 15-foot jumper, which looks smooth as butter to get on the board.
Wilson, Cowling, open, way open. Shot a little bit too deep. You don't want to give her that space.
Time for the Kahu to try and string together a few possessions. Have been awkward on offense, blending in Tess Magin's skills.
Turn around, Magin comes up short, may have just clipped the fingers of Michaela Cowling. Quarterback pass to Dale, switches it out to Wilson. Oh, just could not control it.
And substitutions coming in, Amari Thomas, 3.5 to start the game on the bench. And now the premier post player the Kahu have available today has a chance to imprint her activity on this game.
What have you made of Aaliyah Wilson's season? Draft pick number 11 out of the WNBA. Only bettered, of course, by Steph Watts at the Queens at pick 10. We've seen some good signs from Wilson. Shot miss there, and here she is with the ball.
Yeah, I think she seems to have been finding her feet as we see Michaela Cowling drive straight to the cup, but missed that layup. But more comfortable early on. She didn't look like she was very comfortable in what her role was in the offense, and I think they've started to figure that out.
Magin straight down the alley with the pass to Amari Thomas, her first points of this one.
Amari Thomas knows where to go to get the ball. She is always available for a pass, has a real understanding of where to get open for those finishes.
Cowling into the corner, Dale. Cowling around Thomas, pulls up for two, may have got a clip down the forearm. She did, she's off to the TAB.
Kahu are very content to switch defensively early in this first quarter, and that's enabled Michaela Cowling on multiple occasions to get a favorable matchup, get some space on the three. This time, Amari Thomas has a lot of skills, but keeping in front of Michaela Cowling is going to be a tough ask with the speed that she has when she puts the ball on the floor. She gets to the painted area, feels the contact, and is able to hit the first of 2 free throws.
Opening point for her, join the TAB, put 10 down, get a free $50 bonus bet. T's and C's apply, R18, and bet responsibly, of course. Proud partner of the GJ Gardner Homes Tauihi. Looking after all of the stats, the TAB. Kahu down by 5, Ledger Walker into the action, frees up Tess Magin, first big shot for her from downtown. Is long, picked off, Wilson on the move, sizes up her options. Clean hands by Ledger Walker, Wilson gets it back, and in the end,
Stepped on the baseline.
she did.
Stepped on the baseline, good hustle, worked their way back into it. And the fired up crowd is not fired up about that ball. If I keep saying that, I'm going to start convincing myself that that says fired up, so I'm going to have to stop.
Not sure what you were like with your English at school, Casey.
I didn't speak English, I speak American.
That says enough already. Foul off the ball there, and that might be against Amari Thomas.
That's her second. And problematic for a team that does not have a lot of depth on the interior, with Penina Davidson out this round.
More Rapid League and Tauihi action coming your way tomorrow night on Sky Sport. Join us from 6:30 as the Queens battle the Puakai. Zagara off the glass, well set up by the Whai, and the Austrian finishes strongly.
Well, she's got a really nice game. Her ability to shoot draws defenders out there, but she can put it on the deck and move without the ball, as we saw there.
5x7, Madgen finds a gap through the hands, though, of Leach.
Excellent vision. Stepping through that double as we take another look at the roll by Zagata. A little fake to the corner, freezing Tess Madgen just long enough for Zagata to get that ball up on the glass for two.
And it will take a little bit of time with her new team, Tess Madgen, to settle in. Flew into the country during the week, has only had a couple of training sessions with her new team. Forces a jump there, and possession with the Whai.
Aggressive defense there. Jumping that passing lane. Good awareness of where that was being delivered to.
Here's Cowling. As indicated by coach Jodie Cameron, Reed with the job. She comes up with it now. On the move, Madgen across halfway, inside. Thomas, couple to beat, has drawn the foul.
Unlucky there. Good hustle by the five between Cowling and Dale, but could not keep those hands out of the cookie jar. So possession to the baseline for the Kahu here.
Ledger Walker slaps the ball, looking to bring it in. Keeps it down low to Reed. Gets to the basket. Strong move, Terrell Reed.
Well, the Kahu, they love attacking the rim, and they're putting a lot of pressure on the Whai early in this one to defend in that painted area.
What a season Reed has had so far. 19 points a game. She's headed to Australia shortly. Michaela Cowling, strong, athletic, great patience underneath. And this is the class of Michaela Cowling.
Look at Wilson just thread that needle with the pass, barely over the outstretched fingers of Aotearoa Leach. And then Cowling, the strength inside. That's my favorite thing about her game, is the ability to score both inside and out. And wherever that advantage is, she takes it to. If you're gonna put someone slower foot on me, I'm taking it out. A little bit less strength in that department, and I'm going straight to the block and finishing down there.
So many good players to keep your eye on in Tauihi this season. Of course, we do have the pleasure of sitting in the commentary box and seeing so much of the action. Think about Chrislyn Carr, Ashton Prechtel, Michaela Cowling is certainly another one of those stars. So much fun to watch night in, night out.
A slow start offensively for the Kahu. 3 minutes left in this one. I don't mind seeing them pick up the pace in both areas as the Whai pick up the defensive pressure.
Got to go late here on the buzzer. Tess Madgen knew it. Fell into the hands of Cowling, and back come the Whai. Wilson now searching. Lost it on the transition from her right hand to her left. And Thomas good enough to quickly drag it in.
A couple of careless turnovers here in the first quarter for Wilson. Had that catch of the baseline. She took her eye off, and that time crossover was being used to good effect, and then just unable to corral it. Possession will, of course, switch over at quarter time, so coming back to the Whai. If we don't have another jump ball here in the first, is they're trying to take care of something here. Not quite sure what it is.
If you're just joining us for the first time tonight, earlier this evening in the Sky Broadband Rapid League Rapid Fire competition, the Kahu getting home over the Whai, 42-25. That brand new 4x4 minute game. So much fun. Here's Thomas backing down. Wilson likes the matchup, got the shot up and put it in. What a basket by Amari Thomas.
The ability to finish going to either shoulder. That time finishing over that right shoulder. Wilson, an excellent defender, but just does not have the bone marrow to keep Amari Thomas from getting where she wants to go. Look at the finish with the left hand. A little push, almost jump shot. Showing off that ability to go either way, and then completes the three-point play from the TAB.
Shooting at 60% from the field, Amari Thomas. 24.5 points a game, 80% from the TAB. Rarely does she miss. Standout performer for the Kahu this season. McKenna Dale spinning back to the left. Classy stuff.
Well, McKenna Dale has impressed me so much this season with her three-point ability, but showing off a different aspect of the offensive game, putting it on the deck, the spin move to finish all over Tess Madgen while defending.
Ledger Walker, coast to coast. Thomas, rebound. Draws the foul on Amy West. She's pleading to the coin official, saying that she was pushed.
That's just size. Amari Thomas might be the best in the league at digging out her position on the offensive glass. She is not a tall player. I'd be surprised if she was the second or third tallest player out there on the court right now, but she has the tallest game. An unbelievable finisher down around the paint and has magnets in her hands for those rebounds, as displayed on that possession where she gets 2 from the TAB to cut it to 5 as the Kahu have quickened the pace. 5 points in the last minute 10.
Her last season at collegiate level, Amari Thomas had 10 games scoring 30+ points. Also scored 50 points at collegiate level in one game. Cowling on the turnaround.
She loves that baseline shot from about 15. And defenders have to give her a bit of space there as Palace Hokianga knocks the ball out of bounds. But defenders have to give her space at that 15-point spot because she's so quick off the dribble. And from that position, you're just one dribble from a scoring position. And that extra space, however, can come back to bite you, as we see there with that silky smooth touch on the baseline.
Kahu in the bonus off that foul. Tauihi at the TAB, and maybe a lesson there for young Palace Hokianga. Could have just contained down the sideline, reached in and fouled. And it's going to add another 2 points for the Kahu. And the points have been hard to come by for the visitors in this opening quarter.
But not over the last couple of minutes. 6 points in the last minute and a half. And we're struggling to score, and then all of a sudden it's gotten a lot easier in the last bit of this first quarter.
Cowling on the drive, draws a foul of her own. That'll be against Tess Madgen.
Just the 14th foul on the Kahu, so not in the bonus just yet.
Born in the Barossa Valley in South Australia, Tess Madgen. Very well-known region for other things besides basketballers. Zagara for 3.
The crypticness normally works on me, Justin, but this is one area I do know makes one.
There you go, spot on. Well-renowned wine region of Australia, the Barossa Valley. And the birthplace of this very, very talented player, Tess Madgen, gets her first field goal of season 2023. Zagara, look at that, just held it in the one hand all the way to the hoop. It opened up.
Oh, Hokianga, what a play!
And scores.
Her knack for the basketball defensively on tight. You saw it earlier, maybe she should just let that play go down the sideline. That's why you don't, because she has the ability to get those steals.
Big baskets late for the Whai. Still 30 seconds to play in this opening quarter. They come again, these young guns tearing down the floor with speed. Kirasome sends it out. Zagara's had a real impact in this opening quarter. Hokianga now up against the experience of Madgen.
Shot clock down to 3.
Got to go. Won't get it off in time. And the Kahu win it back.
Just under 8 seconds for them to try and cut this deficit under double digits. Had worked so hard to get back in the game, but an explosion by the Whai stretches it back out.
Madgen knows the clock is ticking down and sets up Amari Thomas. A big basket there for the Kahu as time expires in this opening quarter. The Whai lead it by 9. We'll have a look at the TAB stats on the other side of the break. And as we go, one of those big baskets for the Whai. They're out by 9. Hukianga, what a play that was. Quick break. We'll be back with the second quarter right after this.
There's some good bounces and there's some alright ones. Keep on shaking your thing. Keep on shaking your thing. A pair of new brother sneakers is coming out to you. On that side, on this side. Who's bouncing? Okay. Here we go. Go. Pair of shoes. I'm looking at the best dancer at the moment. I just saw someone do right at the black near the black. Here you go, you just don't shoot me. Right there, it's you. Make some noise for this young lady. I just saw her do a handstand. She just did a handstand. I was like, wow, I was even doing a handstand. Right. Thank you, DJ. Thank you, sir. We will be giving away a pair on that side very, very soon. Make some noise if you know women's basketball. If you know women's basketball, yeah.
Quarter time and the Whai lead by 8 here in Tauranga tonight. Second quarter about to start. Four-time Sal's NBL champion, more than 100 games with the Tall Blacks. Here's Casey Frank with the TAB stats.
Well, we talked about the Whai were going to be able to shoot the ball from deep, 2 for 4 in that first quarter, but it's their prowess from inside the arc, 8 for 12 at 66%. Has enabled them to grab that lead. The Kahu shooting 50% inside, but just 35% overall because they're 0 for 5 from deep. What's been most peculiar is the pace. The Kahu actually one more shot than the Whai in this game. Coming in, they averaged nearly 9 per game less than the Whai, so a little bit of an uptick in that department for them.
Cowling on the turnaround, such a sweet shot.
Lovely footwork. Gets to her spot, and that spin to the fadeaway right shoulder, turn around, enabled her to really create some separation on Tess Madgen and take her defensive contest out of the play.
Thomas inside, oh, lovely pass, just scooping it through to the run of Tara Reid.
Great interior passing for the Kahu, first to finish that quarter. The first quarter when Tess Madgen found Amari Thomas. Amari Thomas passes it along, this time to Tara Reid, and the steal created there.
Here comes Madgen. Looking ahead again to Thomas. Assist number 4 for Tess Madgen, and another basket for Amari Thomas.
Amari Thomas now up in the double figures, 11 points for her. You see the nice finish there. First by Tara Reid. Thomas, not only can she score it, she can dish it as well.
Hasn't missed tonight. 11 and a perfect 4 of 4 now as she moves to 12. 4 of 4, that is, from the TAB, and the margin is back to 6.
Well, they have worked their way right back into this game with a bit of pace, giving the Whai a little bit of their own medicine.
Zagera has been busy. Can't put that one away. Madgen again upping the pace. Good little hand in from behind, and the Whai now comes storming back. Wilson inside. Zagera.
Oh, don't call that. That is such a flop. That is just such a flop. Well done by Aotearoa. Put herself in decent position, but Zagata was well under control, didn't drop the shoulder. That's just basketball. I don't like that call at all.
Yeah, interesting. Certainly made to look a lot worse than it was. But importantly for the visitors, the Kahu back with possession now. They're within 5. Thomas wants it down low, reaching around. Wilson got a hand on it.
And they've been pretty content to get that switch of Wilson onto Amari Thomas on that cross screen. And when they're starting now, Wilson's in that matchup. I'd be looking for a lot more Thomas down there in that low block.
Here's Madgen. Just taking her time in. Drew a couple to her. Reed had it and lost it. Great hand, Cowling. Wilson now. Oh, went back looking for Cowling. Didn't know that Reed was right behind her.
And the unforced errors for the Phi mounting up just a bit. That's the 6th turnover. But they've only got a lot. Alia Wilson for 1 right now. That'll be a 2nd. I personally count 3, but let's just do a better job of locking in with that basketball. Treat it like gold. Can't give away those transition opportunities in particular.
Here's Leach. Good ball movement by the Kahu. Madgen again, another assist. Yes, it is, as Reed finishes on the reverse.
Nice movement off the ball there by Terrell Reed, but Tess Madgen head on a swivel, picking up assist number 5.
She's starting to make her presence felt as Dale fires away from downtown. Kira Some bustled to the floor. Madgen now on the drive, adds 2. She's getting busy.
This pace is not indicative of what the Kahu season has been up to this point. Down on personnel, reigning MVP Talia Tupaya, Panina Davidson both out. Well, a lot of guards and a lot of pace has come in place with them. They are getting up and down. Tess Madgen having an effect in this second quarter after a reasonably slow start to the game.
Sal Super Special for round 6 is the large pepperoni pizza, just $25. Online code is PASS. Nice and easy to remember. Speaking of which, there it is. And it looks really, really good on a Thursday night. You can pick up yours for $25 right now.
I hope they use the QR code. Got that one for a deal.
Gotta love a bit of Sal's. So a good start to this second quarter by the Kahu. A 9-2 run has them back to within 1. And importantly, their new star signing, Australian Tess Madgen, is starting to heat up. 4 points, 5 assists and a steal. And she has certainly showed her class at the start of this second quarter, Case.
Playing very well, helping to get other players involved as we see the pizza dropping. 8 points for Terrell Reed coming out of that break after that nice finish on the flip. 12 points for Amari Thomas. And just 2 other players have scored. Tess Madgen with 4, and Eliana Tauihi has 2 points for the Phi, led by Zagata. 10 points on 4 for 6 shooting, 9 points for Michaela Cowling. Outside of that, next leading scorer is 4 for McKenna Dale.
Of course, every GJ Gardner Holmes Tauihi game live around New Zealand on Sky Sport and right around the world on FIBA YouTube. Coming up short on the turn back to the basket there, Hirawani. And one person who'll be sitting in Australia right now watching on with great interest for different reasons is Tall Ferns coach Guy Malloy. Does not miss a game of Rapid League or Tauihi, but also Tess Madgen is one of his new star signings at the Sydney Flames for the upcoming Australian WNBL season.
Quit trying to shout out the Aussies, Justin. You know Guy is turning down the commentary on this one.
You absolutely give me stick every time, don't you? Foul there. Just feel like it's an ongoing battle between you and I.
Battle? Oh no, I haven't even started yet. I'm just warming up, Justin.
Not sure if you saw the FIFA Women's World Cup last night. 75,000 people turning out for that semi-final between Australia and England. I know I'm changing the subject, but how good was that to see that many fans?
No, it's excellent football being played. What an effort from the Matildas. England standing that ferocious period. About 20 minutes into the second half, 30 minutes into the second half to get away with a walk-away win and playing for their first World Cup. Going to be interesting.
Up against Spain, of course. All the action on Sky Sport. Hope you can join us. Here's Amari Thomas. One end to the other. Draws the foul.
McKenna Dale going for a ride on that one. As Amari Thomas shows her ability in the open court. Has some pace to it. But look at this. McKenna Dale gets on the arm and get off of me. That is the power Amari Thomas is putting on display in that low post area. And McKenna Dale did all she could to slow that down. Still nearly a 3-point opportunity. And how about this run by the Kahu?
Well, they were down by 8 case at quarter time.
Just a 9-4 run. Or sorry, a 9-2 run here to open up the quarter. Very impressive. 10-2 now, and have held the Phi to just those 2 points. Everything that's going right offensively for the Phi in the first quarter has not been able to be replicated here in the second.
And for memory, with about 3 minutes to go in that opening quarter, as Wilson delivers for the Phi, you were talking about the Kahu only having 6 points in the game.
There was about 3 minutes left when they had 6 points, so a big explosion in the last 7 minutes for them.
Here's
look
Thomas.
at the footwork.
Just found a way to skip around McKenna Dale. She's a star.
That's just beautiful footwork. The ability to go to either shoulder, so valuable if you're going to be in that low post. And she certainly can.
Has 18 in the game now as the Phi respond again through Aaliyah Wilson.
Big shot needed there. Drops it. Now she's got the defensive assignment on Thomas down low.
Tied up, 31 apiece. Tess Madgen changes that with a corner triple.
Well, the Phi had some success doubling the basketball in that first quarter. Nice response by the Kahu. They're getting it out earlier and they're whipping around before those rotations can recover. And that time ends up in the wide open triple.
Madgen moves out to 7. Cowling keeps it alive. Back to Dale. Cowling now in the corner for 3. Short. Hirawani drops into her lap. That's a tough pass looking for Cowling.
Ambitious, to say the least. That's what my coaches always said when they were mad at my turnovers.
Beautiful move, Tess Madgen.
In transition, she's just looking so comfortable. And they're not super familiar with her teammates, but familiar with what to do with the ball in hand on a transition break.
Responding yet again, the Phi, Kira Somet.
And another aspect of Cowling's game makes her so impressive. The unselfishness, the ability to create pinpoint accuracy with that pass there.
Good opening quarter by the Phi tonight, but the Kahu have responded in a big, big way. Midway through the second here. Here's Madgen, 9 points, 5 assists. Keeps it alive into the corner. Leach coming through. Wilson knocks it out.
And just over 1 second left on the shot clock, so the Kahu are going to have to do something quickly here with 4:26 left in the quarter, where whoever gets that catch, it's going to have to be immediately put up.
Ledger Walker to bring it in. What can they create here? Thomas and Reed.
That is a quick second.
Break cover, extremely quick, wasn't it?
Possible that there was less than 1 second on there. Not sure the shot clock at this venue is set up for milliseconds.
Both teams still have their Sky City player timeout in hand for this first half. Here's Cowling. Oh, did she take an extra step there, Case? Looked a little bit awkward. Zagera was hot in the opening quarter, a little bit quieter in the second. Kira Some now. What can she come up with late in the shot clock? They've got to go. Tough pass, Cowling. Numbers here with the Kahu. Reed will go it alone off the glass.
Well, Kira Some never really stopped Terrell Reed's drive. And if you're the ball handler, don't pick the ball up until the defense makes you. When she finally did, it was too late. Layup.
13-point turnaround in this second quarter to the favour of the team in light blue as Cowling draws the foul.
Looks like that foul might be on Tess Madgen underneath as we take another look at Terrell Reed in transition. Kira just got too deep there, anticipating that pass going, wanted to get in that lane. Instead, gets stuck underneath that charge circle. Doesn't have the length to affect the Reed finish.
I like what Cowling has done with the kicks tonight as well. Here she is at the TAB. A little bit of a change up on the left and the right.
And
in team colours.
It all coordinates. You got to coordinate.
I like it.
Got to coordinate the shoes with the trim. I appreciate it, especially as someone who's never coordinated anything in his life.
Oh, you can say that again. Hits both from the TAB. Margin at 3. Nice work. Oh, better work by Cowling. Thought the move by Flavel was good. Coming across, what about the block from Michaela Cowling?
Yeah, I think Bailey Flavel just caught her in an awkward area. She needed another dribble. And because she didn't put it on, took those steps early, she was stuck in no man's land. And Michaela Cowling took advantage, knocked that shot right out of the sky.
Kahu back in action on Sunday in GJ Gardner Homes at Tauihi when they travel south to Christchurch to take on the mainland Pauakai. Catch all of the action live on Sky Sport. Wilson for three. Zaguerra keeps it alive. Dale moves it back on to Aaliyah Wilson. Zaguerra on the drive, too much on it. Magin will settle it down. Pushes it forward. Thomas. Little floater was short. Here's McKenna Dale.
And the transition game is picking up the pace, but they're finding to find some high quality, efficient level shots. The kick there puts the ball on the baseline.
Asia Anderson about to come in for the Kahu, getting some last moment instructions from coach Jody Cameron. Wilson. Cowling. Up over the top of Magin. Little bit short. And the Kahu bring it back through Crystal Ledger-Walker. Kiwi star. Magin now.
Oh,
hard, tough stuff. She wants it to count.
That's a strong move. I think it does. I think that does count. Haven't seen the... Yeah, count it.
There you go. The officials confer.
Yeah, picked it up, took a couple of steps afterwards. McKenna Dale saying, what am I supposed to do? Well, you got to keep those hands from dropping down. If she hadn't brought them, possibly that call doesn't go the way of the Kahu, but when you drop those hands in the midst of that contact, that is tough to avoid the whistle.
Adds another one from the TAB, and to all of our young hoopers out there tuning in tonight, if you get the chance to go along and see the Kahu play, I know Tess Magin is always up for a chat with the fans after the game, and you'll learn so much. Oh, big basket there. Guess who? Aaliyah Wilson.
She's getting aggressive. Was looking with consistency for some of those jump shots a few moments ago, but now putting the ball on the floor to the cup. Straight by Crystal Ledger-Walker on that one. Gets the finish, the hoop, the harm. A chance for three from the TAB.
And this will bring it back to a three-point margin. Up and in. Just over 2 minutes to play in the first half tonight. Quality game, another one. Season number 2 of Tauihi. Magin, first game for her tonight. Can't get that one to go. Here's the 15-year-old Hokianga. Some reaching in there, Reed on the lock and trail against Cowling.
No, it's an offensive foul. Hokianga, I think, with the illegal screen.
Mel Bennett maybe asking a similar question to the one that I'm sitting here asking at the moment. How did you see that? Let's have a look at the GJ Gardner Homes replay.
Well, always easier in slow motion. Not sure exactly. She's seeing the arms outstretched there, but
she was passing the ball.
You've got to be able to have your cylinder. That is a tough foul on the youngster, in particular because it didn't look like a great angle to blow that one.
Well, she was handing the ball off, Case. Got to be allowed to do that.
Yeah, you know, I'm definitely not one to defend that call.
Here's Ledger-Walker, Magin. They're starting to team up. We're going to see a lot more of that in the back half of this season. It's exciting stuff. Reed inside. Does well. Does very well.
Well, a little shot fake before actually getting it up, able to avoid two defenders down there, and she's finding a lot of success in that low block.
Wilson on the spin. Battling for it with Leach. Whai hold possession off the baseline. Been a good turnaround this second quarter by the Kahu.
Solid hustle there by Wilson to gain an extra possession, and sitting on 9 points right now. 2 double-figure scores for the Fives. Zagata with 10, 11 for Cowling. But you're right, this second quarter has been a big uptick in the wind of the sails of the Kahu, soaring along, able to dropped 27 points in this quarter already. So, yeah, 27, 26? 26 it is. My math always off, but what's not off? It's hoop heads on Wednesday nights. I'm always off on that too.
I'm a little bit worried that somehow we've brought maths and English into the conversation tonight. Sal's Hoop Heads, of course, Wednesday nights. Join us around the desk. Casey, Frank, Andrew Mulligan, Crystal Ledger-Walker joining me every week to talk lots of Tauihi basketball, and we're also starting to gear ourselves up, Case, for the FIBA World Cup. The Tall Blacks, of course, in action, and in their pool play, gee, they got some big opponents.
There's a couple of teams, you may have heard of them. Jordan, not Michael Jordan, but the country. They're one opponent. Then there's Greece.
Yeah, not bad. Anyone else?
Greece thankfully doesn't have Giannis Antetokounmpo. And then, the USA. I've heard of them. They're solid at this basketball thing.
Well, you've played against them, more to the point.
I have. No, it's going to be a great tournament. It always is at the World Cup. There are no easy games. Even the teams that maybe don't get the limelight, they're still quality. And you have to be on that razor's edge for a long time to get yourself up for it.
Can't wait to see the Tall Blacks in action at the World Cup. Here's Madge, and her second quarter has been sublime. Going to work on Wilson one way, then the other. Got the shot away. But the American guard came up with it. Now Dale for three, in and out, rattled around.
Dale hasn't found that form from deep just yet. Had a couple of decent looks at it. And the Phi as a whole, not quite shooting the ball like you would expect them to. Just 2 for 10 now.
Imagine waiting for Thomas to come across, and drops it into her now. Reed, up fake, baseline drive, off the ring, and the Phi, 30 seconds to play. Sky City player timeouts alive.
Decide the better of that one. Need a good shot here to close this gap. Cowlin takes the player timeout here, and a nice call. Well, why that is a nice call is because it resets the shot clock to 14 seconds on the timeout. They've got a chance to talk about it, so only going to be a second and a half or so discrepancy if they do miss it or if it goes through. And on that player timeout, you hit that QR code up right there and see if your community organization can get tickets to the big game. Still thousands of tickets to give away over the last couple of rounds of the game. Make sure you get out there, and thanks to Sky City, fans all across the country are able to enjoy this basketball action in person.
What a program that has been as well. Already 12,000 tickets given away through 2023. Lots of community groups, youngsters getting along to games in the Sal's NBL, and also the GJ Gardner Homes Tauihi. Oh, not sure that was part of the plan. Out of that player timeout. Got to get a shot up here. Late. Dale does get a clean shot. That won't go. She thinks the quarter's over. McKenna Dale was headed to the bench then on the buzzer. She thought the half was done.
Well, I didn't understand. The count there seemed to be a little bit off from her teammates on the shot clock. That should have been reset.
No, it doesn't reset if it's in the front half. If it's less than 14, it doesn't reset. And I think they had 10.
Thanks for the rules, buddy. I appreciate that. I always hate it when I don't quite understand them, and yet I'm still speaking on them. Nice catch, and another Sky City player timeout. So 3 seconds left here for the Kahu to do something with it. See if they can't have a little bit of better luck.
Who's the go-to here, Case?
Well, I'm going to Mari Thomas the way she's going, but of course you've got, I think, 3 great options right now. The ball hands up in the hands of Reed, Madgen, or Thomas. You're pretty happy about it.
Ledger Walker to bring it in. Madgen is the target. Screen was set.
Oh, Terrell Reed's going to go to the free throw stripe after McKenna Dale gets the foul for trying to fight through.
And a little bit of a clumsy foul there by Dale as well. And that will bring some late opportunity. Let's have a look at it again. GJ Gardner Homes replay.
Well, just a good screen by Terrell Reed. I think she shifted her body over and got set very quickly before that, as Tess Madgen shot the gap there in sort of America's play, the cross screen up through the middle. Terrell Reed heads the line to cap off what has been a successful first half for her. 14 points now.
puts both away. Wilson quickly shut down by Madgen. That was good defense. Smart heads-up play by Tess Madgen. And that'll do us. Half-time tonight in Tauranga. Round 6 of the season. And at quarter time, it looked like the Whai were in for a big night, but what a turnaround in that second quarter by the Kahu. They're out by 7. There's a lot to pick apart as the teams head in to the rooms for the long break. TAB stats not too far away. Stick with us tonight. Thursday night hoops in the GJ Gardner Homes Tauihi. Back after the break.
If I chose you to shoot a half-court shot, please make some noise for these guys who's trying to make a half-court shot. Are you ready? Let's go. That's it. Let's go. $50. That was no good at all. Okay, this way. Everyone gets 2 shots. Everyone gets 2 shots. Ooh. Everyone gets 2 shots. Okay. Hold up. Can I just say, next time I ask you if you can do a half-court shot, make sure you've done one very soon, okay? So, we're going to give you all the power. Put out your hands. We're going to try and give you some positive power. Everybody put out your hands and give them some positive power. Shake your leave on this and give them some positive power. Let's go. Are you ready? Okay, that was woo! Here we go. Okay. Okay. 2 more. Okay, this is the very last shot. So, let's say, so they move. This is Darcy, everyone. So everyone, let's go. Darcy, let's go. Darcy, let's go. Darcy, let's go. Oops. What? Okay, we got someone who can dunk it. Dunk the ball. Who can dunk the ball? Who like to see a dunk? I like to see a dunk. Can you dunk? So, if you can dunk the ball out, I'll give you this right here. Dunk the ball, bro. Dunk the ball if you can. Dunk the ball. Dunk the ball. Dunk the ball. Dunk the ball. Oh! To try again. Ready?
Welcome back to Tauranga tonight. Hope you're enjoying the coverage of the Kahu and the Whai. Great comeback in the second quarter by the Kahu. Slow going early, but gee, they stormed back into this game through a busy period. Here's the TAB stats with Casey Frank.
Well, Amari Thomas leading the way. 3 players in double figures for the Kahu. For the Whai, Michaela Cowling really getting it done. And these are on percentages of 45% from the floor for the Whai, 50% for the Kahu on the rebounds. That's a pretty tightly contested battle. 18 for the Whai, 16 for the Kahu. And the reading rebounder, Terrell Reed, 7 for the Kahu, dominating that aspect of the stats for her squad. Michaela Cowling leading the way for the Whai with 5. No surprise, she's leading multiple statistical categories. Heading to the assists, Tess Madgen really shot off to a great start in that second quarter. 5 assists for the game. And once again, Michaela Cowling leading the way with 3 assists for the Phi. Finishing up with the defensive stats. 2 blocks apiece for the Kahu and the Phi. Oh, wow. Michaela Cowling, 2 blocks. Well done. Awatia Leach in response, getting some of her own. And finally for the steals, quite a few of those. Terrell Reed leading the way with 3. Crystal Ledger-Walker, always a thief, gets 2 herself.
So there we go, halftime. And the Kahu lead this one by 7. Such an important game tonight for the Phi. A win here just to move them a little bit clear of the Pauakai, who do have a couple of games coming up this round. They take on the Queens tomorrow night in the capital before heading home on Sunday to play the Kahu.
And one interesting stat when you look at it, the shooting percentages from deep, the Phi 2 for 12, just 16%, 8 threes off their average made threes per game. The Kahu 1 for 6, and about on right for them and how many attempts they're going to get up. They really lifted those percentages in that second quarter though.
As always, the kids having fun. That's what we love to see in the GJ Gardner Homes Tauihi. Quick break on the other side, second half tipping off.
So, I've got this one to listen to this young lady. Hey, you guys all right out there? You guys all right? Hey, this is like right here now. Right here. Here you go. Thank you. So, friends, make some noise for that young lady. So, can anyone do the worm on the other side? Who can do the worm on that side? Can you do the worm? You gotta show me the worm. Who can do the worm on that side? Now I want to give them the standing things. I haven't seen the worm. Oh, there's one. I can see one worm right that way. Can you do the worm? Okay? It's like interesting watching all the babies. Hey, boys, it was wheels. Alrighty. Front, if you do the front, like do it front, and then we can do it the back, like opposite. I saw one person doing it really well. So good. Watch out for other people, watch out for other people. Alright, so. Yep. And then, and what about the opposite way? The other way. What about the other way? You're going to do it the opposite way and the forward way. I'm just waiting to see it. Backwards and forwards. Backwards and forwards. Everyone's going to go home and practice on win tonight, which is awesome. It actually is 50 years of football this year.
28-13, second quarter tonight by the Kahu, has them out by 7 at the half over the Phi. And it's been tough going at home this season for the Phi. Some narrow losses. The Kahu coaching staff and some experience there, no doubt about it. Leanne Walker and Jodie Cameron not too far away from the start to the third quarter this evening, and the Whai with a little bit of work to do, Case.
Well, for me, it was their lack of ability to contain penetration in that second quarter, especially Tess Madgen starting to find some ways in there and keep up defense like that. It's going to be tough to make this Final Four, happening, of course, September 9th and 10th in Porirua, in Te Ruaparaha Arena. Use that QR code. Tickets available now. Get the best seats while they last.
And an update this afternoon, tickets selling fast, which is great to see. Can't wait to have a big crowd there. Of course, semi-final action on the Saturday, and then on the Sunday, playoff for third, followed by the big grand final on Sunday night. All the action coming to you live on Sky Sport. GJ Gardner Holmes Tauihi Final Four. Who's your tip at the moment?
I really don't have one.
It's hard, isn't it?
I really don't have one of who's going to be the four. I mean, there was a bit of a stretch there. It looked like the Polokai were going to be struggling, but they've turned it around. They've started playing a better brand of basketball the last couple of weeks, and their excellence in the Rapid League almost assures they're going to keep climbing the points ladder in that regard. It is a tough ask, and that's a tough ask all the way around. I don't think anybody is quite guaranteed of a spot just yet either. You know, it is going to be difficult to secure that spot, but once there, that dance party's open. Anybody's going to be able to get to the end.
Well, we've seen the last couple of years in the Sal's NBL that the Final Six hasn't been decided until literally the last game of the season, and I've got a feeling we're going to see the same thing again right here in Tauihi this season. Somebody asked me the other day, who's going to win the whole thing this season? And I said, I don't even know who's going to be there yet. Like, I'm with you. I just cannot pick. More to the point, I cannot pick who's going to miss out.
And when you talk about who's going to win, what's been interesting, it does seem like it's a bit of a round robin. Certain teams have other teams numbered. You know, the Kahu, I think they've looked really strong against the Hoiho for the most part. To me, the Hoiho looked really strong against the Queens. The Queens really strong against the Kahu. The Polokai have picked their moments. The Whai, they've at times been dominant against the Hoiho in ways that other teams haven't been able to sort of touch. So it is very matchup dependent. And just because you get that top seed may not necessarily you're playing against that what will be the best matchup for your squad and the strategy that you want to play with.
What have you made of Tess Madgen's debut tonight, the Australian Opals captain?
Well, finding her feet, obviously, but you love the playmaking ability, the nose for the basketball. Fitting in quite nicely. You love to see those 5 assists, and I assume that impact is going to just grow as this game goes along. As we see the triple in the corner.
Yeah, big start for the Kahu in this third quarter, and that margin now out to double-digit figures for the first time for the Kahu. They lead by 10. Cowling. Can she set up Kira Sommer? That one doesn't go down.
And now we see all the Rapid League players that didn't start the game suddenly start in the second half as the coaches get a little bit more dedicated.
Here's Leach. Ledger Walker has Dale in front of her. Been a tough night for McKenna Dale.
Oh, beautiful dime.
And it will go down as an assist as Reed scores. What a great setup by Ledger Walker.
Just knew exactly where her teammate was. Terrell Reed, a well-timed cut there. She is pointed on here in the third quarter.
Back-to-back baskets for the Kahu to start this one. That may be against McKenna Dale for the hook. It is called for the foul.
Not a bad move, but just a bit of that chicken wing gets out in front. And take a look at it. You see it. It's when she grips with the hand, Terrell Reed knew it right away. Gets the whistle.
So too did the coin officials.
Terrell Reed up to 19 points, leading scorer in the ball game now.
As we mentioned earlier, she's headed to the Australian WNBL, heading to the team that Tess Madgen has just left as they team up.
Oh, fill it up.
And another triple.
Touch them all, 22 points in the game. Her game has just really expanded in this last year. Her time as an import in Finland has shown her a new level as Michaela Cowling wants the foul after the bucket.
And that breaks a run of 3 baskets for the Kahu.
That was a 7-0 run to kick things off, and looks like it's going to get bigger.
Madgen threaded the gap on the perimeter, ran into McKenna Dale under the basket.
Well, this penetration that the Kahu continually are finding is causing the Whai plenty of headaches. They're just unable to consistently keep any of the Kahu ball handlers from getting to the spot they're trying to get to.
Imagine Cowling defensively. And the ball from Madgen to Ledger Walker. That's another triple. Mel Bennett's seen enough. She wants to chat with her team. Gee, since quarter time, the Northern Kahu have put on a show, out by 16. There's the Ledger Walker triple. And a hot start to this third quarter by the team in light blue.
Well, coming into the ball game, the Kahu were shooting just 26% from three. That is not what they wanted to do, and they were making just over 5 of those per game. Not what they were really looking. 5.1 made threes per game, but tonight, finding that range, they are now 4 for 9 from deep. And it's that kind of efficiency with that shot, with not a lot of value, but the efficiency that they're creating has enabled them to stretch out this lead when combined with the penetration that's really got this Whai defense on their heels.
Megan Compain joining me tomorrow night from 6:30 for the Sky Broadband Rapid League clash between the Queens and the Pauakai, followed by Tauihi, of course. And then Sunday afternoon, join Nick Bewley and Tessa Boagni for the Pauakai up against the Kahu. Two fascinating games, I must say, coming our way.
Well, you know, it doesn't get any easier. And with just the 5 teams in the league, there's a lot of familiarity. And the more you play a team, that familiarity turns into a little bit of contempt, especially if you got those continual matchups back to back. We're starting the action here. 8 minutes to go. The Whai put the ball in the hands of Cowling and Wilson. They are going to have to find ways to make this Kahu defense bend.
And it feels like that's basically Wilson's first touch of this third quarter as well, as she hits the 2.
A nice drive. The 2-woman game between Cowling and Wilson providing dividends.
Madgen, short. Leach, battling for it.
Leach has just got a nose for the basketball. She's got that effort. She's got that enthusiasm. And does not mind getting a skid mark from the floor or two, diving on the basketball. Regains possession there. Just had no business to get her hands on that one. Out hustles everybody, outworks everybody once it gets it in her hands. Another possession for the Kahu created.
I reckon the Kahu, since quarter time, have done a really good job shutting down Sarah Zaguerra as well.
Yeah, I think 10 points in that opening quarter. Has not had a lot of activity since then.
Madgen all the way to the hoop, draws the foul on Michaela Cowling.
The Kahu are just really manipulating the defense for the Whai right now. They are the creators of everything the Kahu, the Whai, forced to react, and that reactivity right now, just a half-second slow, allowing for nice looks, open drives, and good shot creation.
We were talking during the Rapid League game earlier tonight, Casey, about Tess Madgen's sporting family, all at a high level. Tess and her 2 brothers, and you, of course, saw a fair bit of brother Ben, who played a lot of basketball as well.
Yeah. Ben Madgen, great player for the Sydney Kings, Boomers as well, before he took some time overseas. And you love this. I always wonder about those sporting families. As an only child, had to go to the park to find some competition, but must have been fun when everybody's in the backyard. You can test that iron against each other.
Oh, there would have been some battles. No question.
Always are. Hopefully mostly just on the court. Or the field with that, what's it called, footée?
Yeah, of course, her other brother, Jack, played with the Collingwood Football Club in the AFL. Here's Wilson on the drive. Couple of baskets for her in this third quarter. Delay a game warning there against the Whai. Speaking of representing national teams, through her time with the Opals and also underage, Tess Madgen, who has the ball in hand now, has been playing for Australia since 2008.
Jeez, that is a lot of drinks. And international basketball is no joke. Beautiful find, Ledger Walker moving without the basketball nicely there. Tess Madgen already starting to create a bit of a connection as she picks up assist number, is that number 7?
Yep. To go along with her 12 points tonight, double-double watch. And the margin is at 14. The Whai in a bit of trouble at the moment. Zaghiara wanted the foul called. Eventually it was. You can just see the frustration there on the face of Sarah Zaghiara.
As mentioned, off to an excellent start in this one, but has not found a lot of freedom of movement outside of that first quarter. And there you see the swipe by Amari Thomas.
You talked about Aotearoa Leach before, Casey, and seems like she's been involved in so much tonight. And I look at the TAB stats, hasn't put up a shot, but it hasn't been about her shooting tonight. It's all the hustle.
Well, especially as this team gets back to full strength, there's not going to be a lot of shots to go around. And if you want to be a scorer and sort of get on that team, it's not going to happen. They're going to go with the tall ferns, they're going to go with the imports, they're going to go with the boomers. So if you want to get yourself some playing time, you want to earn minutes, you have to do the little things. And Aotearoa Leach is certainly feasting on those opportunities right now.
Speaking of feasting, Reed with a steal. That's her 4th of the game.
We're putting together a complete game is Tauihi Reed. Not only defending, rebounding, scoring 22.7 rebounds and those 4 steals you mentioned.
I reckon Melbourne Boomers coach Chris just keep with the play as Leach hits a big 3. How about that for a shot?
Well, never mind, I'll drop the triples too. Can do it all.
We just spoke about scoring. Chris Lucas, of course, the coach of the Melbourne Boomers. He'll be pretty happy with what he's seen from Tauihi Reed so far tonight.
Tauihi Reed's reached another level. She has elevated her game in the last year. Was a good player for the Kahu last year, but she's import quality this year. And she had a huge season in Finland, dropped a 48-point game over there. And, you know, that going overseas and feeling the pressure of being an import and being expected to score with that kind of regularity and deliver at all times, it really can make or break you, and it has made Tauihi Reed a much improved player over the last year.
There's Leach with a deflection for the Kahu. Imagine drawing another foul. She'll head back to the TAB.
Man, look at the difference in the ease of offense on the two sides of the court right now. Everything looks easy for the Kahu. They're running around with freedom. They're getting to where they want to go. The Whai on the other end, just a lot of roadblocks at every stop. And they've got to be pretty fortunate that Penina Davidson's not out there, because the size and the strength of the Kahu down low is starting to affect them as well.
And still a chance for Talia Tapaia to come back this season as well from that shoulder injury. So look out, this Kahu team is stacked. TAB, of course, official stats partner of Tauihi. You know what to do. Imagine I don't think's been off the floor tonight. Neither Tauihi Reed. They've played every single second.
Well, we know Jodie Cameron doesn't mind running the starters. she has no qualms about leaving the talent out there.
Cowling, good defense. Ledger Walker, Wilson, Madgen, good battle. Under pressure, Wilson, late shot, leaves it short.
Defensive clinic by the Kahu right now. They have really just shut the doors, have held the Whai to just 8 points this quarter.
Thomas, second effort is good. What did the Whai score per game, Case? I'll leave you with that to have a look, because they're finding scoring tough right now.
Well, coming into the game, they're 4th in the league at 76.6. Not that far off. The Kahu, the leading scoring team in the competition, at 80.3 points per game coming in. But the Whai doing it on a lot more shots. They're doing it on 72 shots per game. The Kahu on 64. And they're not getting that pace of play right now, the Whai, that they would prefer to play at.
More missed opportunities for the Whai. It's a big margin now at 19. Still 4 minutes to play in this third quarter. Madgen.
And the aggressiveness for the Whai defense has really dropped as well. They need to find that fire once again.
Leach looking for her second triple of the night. May get it back, slips over. Finally ends up with Madgen. Oh, great step through.
I mean, that's class. A real understanding of space to get that shot off, splitting the defenders, that big, long, slow step, and still getting it up off the glass, giving us a glimpse of what she's going to bring to this Kahu squad. The big step, the way she slowed it down to avoid the travel, that is not as easy as she made it look. And now a 20 1 point lead for the Kahu, biggest of the ball game, 22-8 in the quarter.
Timeout called here. Still plenty of time to play in this third. And I've seen a lot of Tess Madgen's basketball over the last decade, and I can tell you right now, she's gasping for air, but she is thoroughly enjoying her debut game here in New Zealand. She looks very happy in this Kahu squad. Lots of highlights for her and the Kahu tonight. GJ Gardner-Holmes' Tauihi Highlights Show every Tuesday night. Check it out on Sky Sport.
I'm Coach Mel Bennett with the Whai. I'm just imploring my team to find some activity defensively. Well, for me, the Whai are at their best when they're aggressive, they're out, they're trapping, and they're imposing their will defensively, using their speed, their quickness to affect teams. But they're in that third quarter, they have not been the determiners of anything on the defensive end. It's been the Kahu getting to where they want to go. She's gone to the bench now to pull out some of those reserves to see if they can't bring that effort level up to where it needs to be.
It's a good segue, Case. Wouldn't mind your thoughts. Speaking of defense, I feel as this season continues to roll on so quickly, one of the things we don't see a lot of in Tauihi is defensive change-ups.
Yeah, I mean, certainly something you got to do when things aren't going wrong, and or aren't going well. And some teams, they get pretty comfortable with their scheme, and they feel like if we can't do the schemes, you see McKenna Dale drive, that this is the scheme, this is what we need to do well, and that's why they're sticking to it, especially throughout the regular season. We're going to do a better job at this, so later on in games forward, we'll be more proficient at it. Personally, I think you got to have some zones in the back pocket. You have to have some doubles, but it's also personnel dependent. Not every team is built to play defense in every style of play. So a lot of factors do come into it, but I've always felt as an offensive player, when you're doing something and you're comfortable and it's going, you want that same defense to keep coming at you. You don't want to have to figure out other looks or other positions. So it's ideal to change it up to get those offensive players out of their comfort zone.
Tough old night for McKenna Dale, 2 of 7 shooting. She has 5 points in the game. Here's Madgen to Thomas, well set up. Corner ball, Asia Anderson for 3.
It just looks so easy for the Kahu right now. The double high, they tried to get that aggression, but nobody to take the ball away from Thomas with that high post catch, and shows off her all-around game with a beautiful assist to Anderson in the corner.
25-9 quarter for the Kahu. They have taken complete control of this game since quarter time. Anderson, heavy on Dale. Gets called for the foul.
Charge called on that one. McKenna Dale putting the body on the line, take the contact, goes the other way. Taking another look at it. Yes, well set there. Asia Anderson needed to come to a jump stop a little bit earlier to deliver that one to Thomas.
Can I tempt you yet, midway through round 6, to step out onto the ledge and maybe give us an all-star 5 so far this season in Tauihi, as Dale gets one to go?
All-star 5, there's a few names that pop to mind right away. Cowling, Prechtel, Chrislyn Carr. Those are 3 that I would have written down in ink right now. When you go to the other spots, there's some possibilities. You see Amari Thomas finish again. She's certainly on that short list. I think her teammate, Panita Davidson, has played, but those first 4, Thomas, I'll toss in there as probably ones I'd lock down at this moment. That 5th one might be a little bit tougher to suss.
Crystal Ledger-Walker having a great season. Paige Bradley down at the Hoi Ho as well.
I mean, you got Jasmine Dickey, what she's put together. She's played very well. A lot of quality. It's going to be a difficult team to deliver.
It's tough.
It ain't easy. If it was easy, anybody could do it, Justin.
72-49. Just under 2 to play in the third. Jodie Cameron up out of her seat, pacing the sidelines. Not too much to worry about at the moment. Hokianga short on the triple. And Madgen, who has clearly gone in to the point guard position tonight. Ledger-Walker stepping across to the 2 spot. And so far it's worked.
Well, that's the beauty of Crystal Ledger-Walker. She's got the ability to play on ball, with the ball in hand, or off the ball. Tess Madgen certainly has that too, but when you've got two players who've got that point guard ability, it really is a nice security blanket for a coach. You can just toss it out there and know that they're going to be doing the right thing on the court time after time.
Late in the third here, both teams making some changes.
Surprising, the Phi being down 23 right now. I mean, coming into this, yeah, they've struggled at home, but they've been close losses as of late. They're coming off a win down south where they dominated.
Impressive.
The Whai. I mean, just absolutely dominated them. So to come back to their home court and have that reversal of fortune, not what I expected, certainly coming into this one. I thought they would, still a lot of time in it, of course, for them to fight their way back, but you could feel the momentum just shifting away from them in this one.
Well, it's a 55-26 run since quarter time.
Is that their a second delay of game? That should be. That was picked up and handed. That should have been a technical foul. Fortunate for the Phi fans that wasn't whistled.
Terrell Reid might have just been asking the same question, Case. Again, they move the ball well from one side to the other. Good setup to Thomas. Daish, not unsurprisingly, not long on court, commits a foul.
Well, she's trying to battle down low with Amari Thomas.
Which we saw in the Rapid League tonight. Both of those players went head-to-head physically earlier this evening.
Which is one of the reasons that the Rapid League would drive me crazy as a player. I just got rid of you. I got to play you again. But not too much in the contact there, but certainly a foul. Daisha does not mind getting her hand stuck in the cookie jar.
22 tonight for Amari Thomas, 8 of 10 from the TAB, 7 of 9 from the field, keeping her averages sky high as they have been all season. Cowling under pressure, hands it off. Look at the defense here from the Kahu, so strong. Do they get it back? Chandler battling with Madgen.
That defense is just swarming. They're not worried about the three-point shot, which coming in is what you would have thought you had to be worried about. Just 2 for 15 today are the Phi. Coming into the game, they were shooting just a tad under 30%, second in the competition, as you see the Wilson baseline J hit.
Might have been Cowling.
Sorry, Colin, yeah.
And that is one of her favourite spots. Points so hard to come by since quarter time tonight for the Phi. It has been a very good performance by this Kahu team. Again, in and out of traffic. Madgen hesitation, steps back, short corner, good to go.
It just gets to her spot, elevates. Kennedale concerned about the drive all the way, but Tess Madgen got to her spot and knew she had the shot.
18 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists and a steal on debut tonight for Madgen. Dale just hasn't got it to go tonight.
And there's point guard for you. Realizes there's a short shot clock, so we're going to get the last shot of the game, or sorry, quarter.
Let's see what she can do here. Can she add some more pain? Thomas, she can add pain. We've seen that so far this season. On this occasion, though, she misses just her 3rd field goal attempt of the night. She has 22 in the game, and the Kahu are leading by that margin, 75-53, with a quarter to play. Stick with us.
All they have to do is restart underneath this box. So everyone say hello, Shema and Paris. You guys like, ready? These are the twins. Say hello, twins. Hey. Say, we'll start one over this side. We'll start one over this side. It's all right. Just bounce to the half court and then bounce it all the way back and move your foot back to your sister says. Okay. The count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Oh, whoa. I like it. Make some noise, Simon. Make some noise for these twins. was getting at the same time. And I was like, I like it. So you get some hands and you get a can of drink too. I like it. So friends, it's the last quarter. If you came to support the Five, make some noise! I came to support the Five. So, if you can, let's give our ladies some power on this last quarter, friends. Say power! Say power!
Well, the Kahu continued to skip away in that third quarter. A 30-15 run. 58-28 run since quarter time, and they lead this one by 22. With his thoughts, here's Casey Frank.
Well, the Kahu have just found their level of comfort and lifted the defensive pressure, and we just don't see any easy looks for the Five. They have to work so hard for everything. And just outside of Cowling and Wilson, no offensive threats. Those two players have 28 between them, 25 between the rest of the team for the Kahu, being led by three talented players. Terrell Reed, Amari Thomas with 22 apiece. Tess Madgen, 18 points, 8 assists in her Tauihi debut.
And here she is, ball in hand right now, surrounded by Whai defenders. Thomas, tough look inside, battle off the boards. Look who comes up with it. Aotearoa Leach, very impressive tonight, such a hard worker.
And that's the stuff that's going to drive you crazy if you're Mel Bennett, is being outworked when you're down 22. That just cannot happen.
And there she is again, Aotearoa Leach drawing the foul. McKenna Dale short on the shot. I've mentioned a couple of times tonight that it's been a tough one for her. She has 9 points in the game, 3 of 11 shooting.
But what's most surprising is 0 for 6 from deep. And she's got an 8 3-point game this year. She's got a 6 3-point game this season. At times looks automatic, but just hasn't been able to find that measure this evening.
Amari Thomas just got caught up on the cross screen then. That's why there's a turnover. Hokianga gave up an open three, handed it over to Wilson. Hokianga gets it back and, oh, well, held ball was called before the shot.
Jump ball called? That's the quickest jump ball I've ever seen. She's making a move.
Super quick. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay.
Where's the jump ball? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that is quick. That is really quick.
What is that, the millisecond jump ball? Oh my goodness. Tough luck, Palace.
Madgen comes up with it. Just trying to settle Casey Frank back down, sitting beside me.
I mean, that is maybe the quickest ball I've ever seen anywhere on the planet. I've never seen a jump ball called that quickly. In the middle of a move, no less.
Here is Leach. On the move, scoops it up and in.
Oh, that's pretty. The little burst of speed to get by McKenna Dale and the flip up for the finish. Putting together a ball game. Look at the explosion out. Get you on my hip. I'll just toss it up while you've got my left hand locked up. And Aotearoa Leach continues to show her value to the Kahu. Putting together a fantastic performance. 5 points now, 5 rebounds, an assist, a couple of blocks. It's been the little things that she's been contributing with regularity.
I think that's the most impressive part of her game tonight. Quite often we go to the stat sheet and we read out big numbers, and that's what people look to as well. But Aotearoa Leach tonight has just done so many little things on and off the ball. Impressive. Ledger Walker down low. Madgen, good hand in there. Hokianga, equally good pass to Dale, who should finish and does.
Nice play, cool. Hokianga's excellent defensive instincts come to the forefront again. Gets that steal and a nice kick ahead. Dale, maybe that'll be the bucket that goes through to get her eye in.
Cowling on Madgen. Thomas. Leach. Oh, she's going to go for home. A little bit too deep on the shot. Winning it back. Ledger Walker. Swings it out. Madgen. Steady. Sets. Drains the three.
Laser-like accuracy on that pass from Crystal Ledger Walker, is already developing quite a rapport with Tess Madgen, who's showing the skill as a passer tonight. Now as a scorer, she is up to 21 points now.
Tanya Tupu, Josh Thompson, and Todd Marshall as the Whai get a triple of their own through Aaliyah Wilson. Those three coaches will be sitting back tonight watching this game unfold on Sky Sport, knowing that the Kahu still have Penina Davidson to come back and potentially Talia Tapia. This is a scary looking unit.
They've got some talent. It's been mentioned the way this team has been able to stack it up from the preseason. Eyes certainly were like, ooh, who they signed? Another one. It is a quality squad with depth to spare when at full strength. And as we see tonight, even when they're not at full strength, they are still dangerous out there.
Oh, Tess Madgen's feeling it. Thomas has been feeling it all season. She'll head to the TAB yet again. We should mention also, Casey, that the BNZ Kahu are the only team in Tauihi not playing 3 imports this season. Just the 2.
Not playing 3 imports, but when you've got that collection of tall ferns on there, that does make up for it. And quite often, you know, when you look at the provincial competitions here in New Zealand, that local talent is at least as important as the import talent. You know you can get those 3 imports, but if you can get high quality locals that can play on that level, it really does allow you to play from the strength to strength. As we take a look at the official stats partner, the TAB, to take a look at the stats, and it's the shooting for me. It's 15% deep for the Whai, just 3 makes. 41 from deep for the Kahu on 7 makes, 2 above their season average. And they've actually got more shots up. Coming into this game, the Kahu got less shots up than anybody else in the competition. The Whai the first, well, not today. The Kahu are finding a different level of pace.
Kahu have to play again on Sunday down in Christchurch against the Puakai. Thomas inside receives, and again, back to the stripe. We're talking about Thomas and Ledger Walker, the fact that they're averaging 52 minutes per game at the moment because they're also playing rapidly. Do you think Jody Cameron could give them a bit of a chop out here and an early night?
No. I'm just so impressed by Amari Thomas's post abilities. I mean, I think Tess Madgen's taller than her playing the point guard spot.
Yeah.
But you look at her set up for those high-low passes, set up for the seals, her footwork on the catches, her ability to shoot over lengthier players. It's just a real testament to her work and the skill development of her game.
And she does belie her size, there's no doubt about that. Zagara hits the triple for the Whai. We know that she's strong, Amari Thomas, but that footwork and just her patience at times is just exceptional. She doesn't just throw the shot up.
Man, just a great touch with both hands as well. Yeah, she's a heck of a player and a real find for the Kahu, especially when able to work with Penina Davidson.
Coming into the Tauihi season off a big season in Europe as well, Amari Thomas, where she did very much similar to what she's doing this season here in Aotearoa. 25 points tonight for her to go with 6 rebounds. 7 of 11 from the field and 11 of 13 for Thomas tonight from the TAB, which is where Leach adds another point for the Kahu.
Timeout to the Whai. And maybe one last push here from Mel Bennett to try and implore her squad to find a level of enthusiasm that will let them claw their way back into this ball game. 25-point deficit with just under 6 to play. Against any squad, that would be a tough ask, but against this Kahu squad, even tougher.
Well, this is a team, of course, the Kahu, 7 minutes into tonight's game, had scored 6 points. So they have certainly put the foot on the accelerator since then. Sal Super Special, get your foot on the accelerator quick for this one. Large pepperoni 25. There's the online code and the QR code. You know what to do, and that is available through to next Wednesday. Great supporters of men's and women's basketball here in New Zealand. Sal's authentic New York pizza and have been doing it for quite some time.
Certainly have. Okay, I'm hungry. I can't look at that pepperoni pizza too many more times. Might start eating this microphone.
And one of the big stories, of course, earlier this year with Sal's committing to a further 6 years as naming rights partner of the men's competition and a major partner of Tauihi and Rapid League. Great to have them in our basketball fraternity. Back underway, Cowling has been well held in the second half. Zagera goes long, rebound, Tess Madgen, just add another stat for her tonight. Bit of an indecisive pass there for Ledger Walker, puts her hands up and owns that one.
Yeah, when she was on Hoop Heads this week, she did say that she's been asked to rein it in just a little bit with the speculative looks, and that time got caught wanting to go cross court and just had to find an outlet. Still keeps possession though.
Of course, starting her media career this year. Oh, what a pass that is. Speaking of the good passes, what a ripper. Straight down the alley to Amari Thomas.
Well, doing an excellent job of facilitating for one another, manipulating the defense of the Phi, making them go inside, outside, scramble around as Cowling hustles but can't get the bucket.
You can catch Crystal Ledger Walker on Sal's Hoop Heads each week. Usually putting one or all of the three of us, Miles Case and myself, to shame of some sort.
Jeez, man, I thought we were a team.
Well, we are. We need to step it up.
What are you thinking about when we're finishing up?
We need to step it up. Oh, it's great to have Crystal with us. Zagara on the drive on the left and starting to get some late points in the game for her. She had a hot start tonight.
10 points in the opening quarter, up to 17 points now. But had a bit of a barren middle of the game.
Here's Leach seeing some big minutes tonight. 4 minutes to play. Been a fantastic exhibition by the Kahu tonight. Thomas reaches up, adds a rebound, her 7th of the game. And in the end, Hokianga trying to put pressure on Ledger Walker. Perhaps future teammates for the Tall Ferns, who knows? Crystal Ledger Walker is already well cemented in the national team, and from what we've seen from Palace Hokianga so far this season, she certainly has a big future ahead of her.
Well, it's been fantastic what the Tauihi has been able to do for that next generation of women basketballer. An opportunity to ply their trade at this level, and the big dividends for me, I think we're going to see a few years down the road when you've got players like Palace Hokianga, like Bailey Flavel on the Kahu, getting to come in and train against these full-time professionals that, you know, at 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, you're playing against players in their mid-20s that are well experienced, understand how to teach the game, how to play the game. And when you're around that environment as a young player, I mean, has an immeasurable effect on your growth as a player. And it's really all you could ask for if you want to play at a high level is those kind of opportunities as a young player.
Crystal Ledger Walker finally takes a break tonight. She has put in another decent shift.
Michaela Cowling joins Tagata on 17 points with that layup. Another nice play. Despite her excellence, Michaela Cowling just hasn't really been able to impact this game tonight with a lot of regularity. The defense has been all over.
Reed misses the shot from range. Chandler comes forward. And that'll be a turnover against the Phi. Has Tess Madgen come off the floor tonight?
Not to my knowledge. 17th turnover of the ball game for the Phi.
Well, the best way to get accustomed to your new teammates is to be out there running up and down the floor with them.
It was very true. First training of the year was Tuesday, I believe, so might have gotten a 1 or 2 in the shooting session before this one, and unsurprisingly looking very comfortable. 21 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists, sitting on that triple-double watch, and making it look easy in her opener for the Tauihi.
Well, the Phi have needed plenty of support tonight. It's been a tough one since quarter time. They raced out to an early lead, and They were definitely looking on, coming off that win down south in Queenstown against the Hoi. But since quarter time, it has been one-way traffic. Big show tonight by the Kahu, and definitely sending a statement to the rest of the competition. Final Four not too far away, of course, just a few weeks down the track. It is such a quick season in Tauihi, and I think the players really enjoy that as well, especially the internationals and the leading Kiwis. They use this season to build up into opportunities in Europe. Tauihi is usually done and dusted in 10 weeks.
Yeah, you think the players like coming and playing a bunch of games and not training too much? Yeah, that sounds great. I mean, it's a dream. You know, that's what you want to do. You want to play games. You're coming down. You're playing 1 to 2 games week in, week out, and a short season doesn't tax the body too much. And as we see a bit of a collision there, which is a reason why maybe Jody Cameron wants to get some of these star players off the court here with 3 minutes to go against what is now the youth movement for the Whai.
Tess Madgen back to the TAB, championship winning captain with the Melbourne Boomers in 2019.
This lineup out here for the Whai right now might actually be what their Rapid League team was, the starting 5 for the Rapid League. So had a few minutes earlier in the day, and now getting to finish the ball game tonight, not in the fashion they were hoping for.
Margin at 24. Hokianga, nice hesitation, and then just explodes to the basket on her right.
I mean, it's those kind of moves which just look so comfortable and easy for her to pull off that aren't as easy as she makes them look. I mean, that hesitation, cupping the ball like that before getting that little burst, and that little hesi up there just freezing. Keely Tenney there. I got to worry about the jump shot instead. All of a sudden, it's a layup.
One of the players that has really excited us over the last 6 weeks, Palace Hokianga. Victoria Tamilo, by the way, not playing tonight for the Kahu. She had a breakout game, the 18-year-old, last week against the Queen. Some really good signs for the emerging Tall Ferns player.
I mean, a great time for developing talent here in New Zealand. Tamilo, another example of that, had a big game as we see the triple there from Hokianga. Looking very comfortable to finish this one as she attempts to get this Whai deficit under 20 points.
A couple of baskets back-to-back for the youngster. Amari Thomas just made that look so easy, and another assist to Tess Madgen. That must be a double-double for her, surely.
Well, it's a 30-piece for Amari Thomas, and that's 22 and 10, I believe, for Tess Madgen as long as she gets that assist. Another Hokianga bucket there.
Back-to-back triples. She's just scored 8 in a row for the Whai. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay.
Rangy. It is rangy, and that is 22 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds for Tess Madgen, 30 points, 7 boards for Amari Thomas.
There's Michaela Cowling and Aaliyah Wilson. Tough night for the imports this evening. In fact, all 3 Whai imports sitting on the sidelines right now. Amari Thomas has finally headed to the sidelines to take a break. What a big night for her in both Sky Broadband Rapid League and right here in the GJ Gardner-Holmes Tauihi. Dying stages of this one inside the last 2 minutes. It's going to be a big victory for the Kahu. Ash Udasiki leaning in with the foul. Highest score this season, Casey, 102.
It's in range.
It's very, very close, isn't it? Of course, that was the Pauakai against the less than full strength Hoi in the previous round. Coaching staff we saw a moment ago of the Whai. What do you think would be going through their minds at the moment?
When's the next game start? I mean, you're looking at ways to try and learn from mistakes where the team wasn't able to capitalize on things, and After a decent start, it just really became all Kahu. I think if I'm the Whai coaching staff, I'm looking at the defensive effort, allowing 51% field goal percentage overall, 57% from inside the arc, nearly 40% from outside the arc to a team that's not super comfortable out there. And when you combine that with having sent the Kahu to the line 34 times, that's right, 34 attempts. I mean, you're just not going to be able to win games with that kind of defense.
Well, we talked about Dad Judd and the fact that he'll be watching on tonight. He would have liked that. Bailey Flavel adds a triple. And they're now up to 98. So that season high score is well in range. They may get it back here, the Kahu. No, the Whai. Shot clock ticking down. Chandler on the drive around Tinney. Throws it up. And with 60 seconds to play, the Kahu look to finish this one off. The Whai, by the way, back in action next Thursday night right here in Tauranga when they take on the Queens. Tinney, little to no resistance whatsoever. They reach triple figures.
Triple digits reached. Of course, it's on the road, so nobody's really excited except for that team in baby blue on the sideline. And a chance to get the top scorer of the year if they can finish this next possession.
Margin at 26. Daish, that's a tough shot. And let's have a look at this now with 20
they're
seconds.
They're not scoring, they're holding it.
Reed across halfway.
They are going to let this one go out, and an impressive effort over 40 minutes for the Kahu. Started out a bit slow.
Well, does Bailey Flavel get one more shot up? She does. But that'll do us. Big win tonight for the Northern Kahu. Down at quarter time by 8. They have monstered the Whai over the next 3 quarters, and they run out winners by 26. So much to like about what we saw this evening.
They looked extremely comfortable for a team that was without 2 starters and bringing in a player for the first time. That is a troubling sign for the rest of the league, but not for Kahu fans. For the Whai, back to the drawing board, coming off an excellent performance a round ago, unable to replicate it on their home court, which they just have not found the success on their home court that they've been able to find on the road.
Yeah, it's been a troublesome spot for the Whai this season. Let's have a look at the TAB stats. Amari Thomas, Tara Reid, and Tess Madgen.
Well, that's not bad. That's 78 points scored between the 3 of them. And doing it at high efficiencies as well, well supported underneath, and 5 double-figure scores for the Whai, led by Zagata and Cowling, 17 points. And the rebounds overall, 37-32 advantage to the Kahu, led by Tara Reid and Tess Madgen. Amari Thomas, all 7 apiece. Lucky 7s there. Michaela Cowling, 8 rebounds. Wilson able to get 6. McKenna Tail, 4 in response to the assists, and led here, of course, by Tess Madgen once again. Double-digit assists in her first game over. Crystal Ledger-Walker losing some of those ball handling duties, but still able to drop 5 dimes herself. Wilson Cowling, 3 assists apiece for the Whai, who are only able to manage 13 assists on their 28 buckets compared to 18 assists on 33 for the Kahu. The blocks there, Dale and Cowling combining for 5 blocks. And on the steals, Crystal Ledger-Walker and Tara Reid harassing passing lanes and ball handlers to the tune of 4 steals apiece. Wilson and Hokianga, 2 apiece on the other side.
Well, there's 2 of the players that caused the damage tonight, Tess Madgen and Amari Thomas, warming down. Big win for the Kahu, and with that they go equal top of the GJ Gardner Homes Tauihi ladder. 19 points for them on the season alongside the Hoi Ho. That'll do us for tonight. The Whai will go away and pick it apart before they next play back here at Queen Elizabeth when they take on the Queens next Thursday night. Back in action tomorrow night for more Sky Broadband Rapid League and GJ Gardner Homes Tauihi. It'll be the Queens up against the Puakai from 6:30 p.m. Hope you can join us right here on Sky Sport. On behalf of Casey, Frank and our entire team, hope you've enjoyed the coverage tonight. The Kahu get the win by 26.